Dude,
No,
I'm
don't
sorry.
go.
It's
go
live.
It's done. I
Live.
can't stop
Oh,
it. I'm sorry. I hit it before you
live.
told me not to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it after the
We're
show.
not showing it. We're not showing we're live yet.
It says it on my end.
It's on there.
You know what overcooks my grits, guys?
What's that?
Well, I don't want to say that it overcooks my grits because they're new fishermen, most of them are, but it's these guys that want their personal best, these guys that want to go trophy fishing. They want to catch a big, whether it be trout, it doesn't matter. Some walleye, catfish, bass. They want to go try to do it in August. Like, I bet the guides love them. The guides love them because these guys show up and do you guides? Do y'all tell them? Do y'all say, hey guys, it's August. You're not going to catch big fish. I'm sorry.
It's the worst fucking month to fish.
You're going to catch dinks.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Junior. I talked to a guy yesterday. His name's Rod Brissett. Rod, I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
he's a great
guy. And he told me, he said, Wes, he said, I've been fishing down here for many, many, many years. He said, August, from middle of July to the end of August is suck ass fishing. He said,
I don't think September's much better.
Well, he said he usually don't start till about the last second or third week of September, and then on into October. He just said, he said, we caught fish. He said, I've done one bottom trip already this year, just one. And he said, I had to move 18 times to get 6 grouper. And he said, it's just terrible. He said, and I tell people, he said, I've had a couple of people want to book trips, and I'll just tell them I'm not going to fish no more this year. Not in this heat.
Now there are the LiveScope guys nowadays that don't really mind fishing as much in August, do you, Peter? If you have LiveScope, that helps out a lot, especially on crappie and bass.
All new to me, honestly, but so crappie this time of year, man, they pile on brush, and so that's the easy button for crappie fishing right now when they're on brush. And of course, LiveScope benefits from that because you can find the piles that have fish, the piles that don't have fish, And so I actually made my first LiveScope trip just a couple of days ago. We'll say last week roughly. And, just learning on that thing really blew my mind. Now, mind you, I fished High Rock Lake, and that lake really has no rules whatsoever. You would think that in August, water temperature was 84 degrees, I think it was last week. Mm-hmm. My biggest fish came in 8 foot of water. You would think opposite, 25, 35 foot. Nope, My biggest fish came 8 to 10 foot.
Do you think that maybe people don't think that they're biting that shallow because they're having trouble finding them? Even when they find the brush piles, it's a lot different having LiveScope versus just regular 2D sonar, for example.
I think a lot of people are afraid to look that shallow in the summertime.
I think that's got a lot to do with it.
We all know that, there's a thermocline that develops this time of year, and it depends how deep it is. High Rock Lake, I'm going to say a thermocline might be 6 to 8 foot below the surface, roughly. And so that's pretty much spot on where it begins right there in the 8, 10 foot mark. The easy way to find the thermocline is on a hot summer day, go out there in the middle of the lake and jump in. When you feel that cold water, you're in the right spot.
That's not necessarily true because if you're in 100 feet of water and you jump in, even just 5 feet down, it's going to feel cooler.
That's true.
Just because you got the beginning of some stratification down there around your feet, that thermocline could still be 50 plus feet below you.
You're right, absolutely. But you go into a creek, you can jump in for a cool down, I guess, and let's say you dive in there, try to touch the bottom, and there'll be a point where the water feels cold.
Exactly. And it's crazy how that differs no matter what, depending on where you are. And let's say you're in a creek arm, for example, let's say Rocky Creek on Lake Norman. And so you go 3/4 the way up in that creek. It's 20 foot deep. You jump in. It's weird how some areas around where your feet are, you can feel the cooler water. Yeah. And some area you're hitting like warm spots as well. And sometimes you get in some cooler water and you can feel it longer. It's like there's more of it. And I would think that the fish, wherever the fish are, if you could find some brush that were in some of that cooler water, even though you're getting a surface temp of 84, that's going to vary below the surface, probably. It seems like, because you could feel it.
Now, High Rock is a whole different animal because it's not a very deep lake. It's got a pocket that might be about 65 foot, but otherwise, man, that lake is about 20, 25 foot average. So it's not deep at all. But yeah, I think a lot of folks are kind of afraid to fish shallow this time of year. You know, mind you, every lake's different. Lake Norman, you might not find fish in 8-10 foot of water. It might be 15 foot, might be considered shallow for Lake Norman standards, you know. But I think a lot of guys, you know, they think that they need to go out there 20, 25, 30, 35 foot of water.
Mm-hmm. Where's another good place to fish this time of year, Wes, freshwater wise? Let's say you're targeting striper.
Well, yeah, I like river fishing. I think in the summer, I don't even think I've fished any big water the last 7 or 8 years in the summer. I started going to Tennessee. My recommendation would be if you want to catch a big fish in the summertime, don't try to do it on any large impoundment. Just my 2 cents. I'm not saying you won't, but you're going to come out a whole lot better going into a river where the water's cold, where they're flowing a lot of water. Because there again, you know, fish look for 2 things. Just like we do, we want comfort and food. That's 2 major things in life. Fish want the same thing, comfort and food. Water temperature and water temperature, and of course food is that's 2 of the biggest keys in fishing. You know, that's why I say I'd rather have cold water. I'd rather have a river system. You know, just like now, of course, you know, I'm not giving no secrets where everybody knows Tennessee's got a hell of a water system, but they haven't run no water up there now. Daryl Barney and them, I think they're catching some fish. They're not catching no big fish. They have caught some 22, 25-pound fish. But, you know, Anthony Johnson told me the other night, he said, we're really having to be careful. We're trying to get them in as quick as we can and get them back in the water, get them released, you know, because their mortality rate's really going up. But yeah, I'd rather, I like the river fish, striper fishing, river in a river, hands down. I don't really care about fishing impoundments anymore. Plus, I think it's an easier button because you got a whole lot more river system, but some bitch is only so wide. You know what I'm saying? So you're more likely to cross their path than you are in a big impoundment.
I think the biggest thing too is, you know, let's say years ago, and JR, you might could back me up on this. Years ago in the hot July or August day, a lot of us would go way up in the river in Mountain Island Lake. Now, mind you, it wasn't to catch a pile of fish. It was more so to get away from all that boat traffic that anywhere else would have, you know. And so Mountain Island Lake was a lake where you can go there, you can catch numbers, but they weren't worth a shit, you know. But it was great to go up there to get away from everything. So with what you're saying, Wes, is these river systems you're talking about, does that kind of stay away from any boat traffic, jet skiers, tubers, that kind of stuff as well?
That too. Yeah, you don't. Now, there's certain part. There's one part of the river I fish up in Tennessee in the summer. There's quite a few jet skiers up there.
You just have to deal with the kayakers.
Yeah, there's more kayakers than anything.
Yeah, ever since they put that new little boat ramp there in Mountain Island Lake, from what I understand, it is not the same in the river anymore. Not to mention they don't stock striper there anymore either. So no point in going.
That's one place on the Catawba chain that I haven't been. I haven't been up the river on Mountain Island behind Cowan's Ford Dam.
You need to give it a try in your kayak one day. It's really not as bad as it may look. It isn't. Give it a shot.
I know Spivey, he's ran up there several times in his boat. His dad took him up there when he was little. He knows how to get up there. I've just never attempted it.
If I had to choose between kayakers and jet skiers and ignorant ass people in the boat, I'd take the kayakers off.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, 8-10 years ago, that was the spot to run away to. You know, no one knew anything about Mountain Island Lake. You go there. You can go there with bass shiners, spoons, whatever, on a hot summer day. Did not even need the wheels to be turning at all. You can catch striper all day long.
Yeah, and bait too. I remember Spivey telling me stories where he used to sit up at the front of the boat with a dip net and just hold it down in the water while his dad was running the boat, and they would just catch all the shad they wanted.
That's true.
Listen, fellas, I figured out something. I'm gonna try it. Kevin Blue came over to my house about 2 years ago and kind of took me through the basics of throwing a net. So I'm going to start learning how to throw a cast net. And this year, about September, I hope I can throw one good enough to start catching some bait. I mean, I catch fish now offshore, but I just like to see how well my odds go up taking some live bait out there. I mean,
I'll be honest with you, live bait offshore is not a game changer, except for like your bigger fish, like your bigger grouper, cobia. If I use live bait, normally I'm staying fairly near shore, you know, within 20 miles. But further offshore, I don't think it matters too much.
Not even bottom fishing?
Bottom fishing, it will occasionally. But thing with pogies is you get a lot of sharks with pogies. But
Really?
to be quite honest, you are better off using live cigar minnows for grouper than anything else.
I mean,
And
they're
you
great
can
and all,
catch
but
them with a cast net.
you're catching all the live baits you really need on rod and reel while you're out there.
True.
So when you're
Absolutely.
bottom fishing, trying to go catch a bunch of pogies to take out their bottom fish with, I don't think you're going to do a whole lot better. You're already catching live bait that you can use.
Correct. Wes, it's like this. When I go offshore grouper fishing, to the tower or beyond, I am not going out of my way to catch bait. But if I'm riding out there and I see pogies,
Yeah.
you better believe I'll throw my net on them before I go offshore.
The thing about the
pogies
is they're so soft. They're going to get nibbled on a couple times. They're going to be dead. You're basically going to be cut baiting. And that's one of the reasons why they're such a shark magnet, is because they turn into fresh cut bait so quickly when you drop them down there.
Well, I'll tell you, it seems like every time that I've ever dropped a small beeliner down, he gets hammered. I mean, it's just, there's something about a beeliner. They love them.
I think that you should probably start trimming the fins on them and making them very easy for
To swallow.
another fish to swallow. Yeah. And it makes them look injured. I think they're going to get hit quicker, maybe.
Mhm.
But I think that we probably do miss some fish and break off some fish, probably because we're not trimming our bait.
Well, I've got about 30 chicken rigs tied up out there now, and they're all on 100-pound leader.
If you didn't have to, also, if you would switch to Hellcats or switch to a more parabolic bend rod, you're going to have a better hookup ratio out there too, using circle hooks.
The other thing too is, if you're trying to set the hook, you're gonna miss a lot of dang fish. You gotta kind of find that rhythm.
But you have to use them though, right? You can't use a J hook or a treble. You have to use circles.
Yeah, those guys that try to set a hook on the bottom, they miss a lot more fish. And it's been a while since I bottom fish with Wes, but I remember me trying to talk him into it.
He does, but Wes is good at it though. He's good at it, but yeah, he still misses fish. A normal person's going to miss a lot of fish trying to set the hook on a circle hook. But
correct.
I'll just always jerk. I mean,
there's a little rhythm with fishing, bottom fishing. Like you feel that tap, 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 and you got to kind of time it right to start reeling.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
but Wes he's a pretty good jerker though. When we got in that SBC down there with Scott on Scott's boat with Mike and it's me, you, and Mike and Scott, wasn't it, Wes?
Yeah.
And I think Wes, didn't you catch the only 2 fish we caught?
I did.
Yeah. And how to tell Peter how you caught them?
On circle hooks.
Tell him what you did.
No, I had J hooks.
No, that one fish is on a circle.
Oh.
Remember, they kept telling you, there's like, don't jerk it. And about that time you jerked it and parted his eyes.
Yeah. I like to part their eyes. I mean, dude, I love that video you made. I've watched that like 200 times. Where I was dropping and that AJ hit it, or I think it was a grouper. I'm saying AJ, but I'm hoping it was a grouper.
Yeah, when I said stuck him.
Yeah. When I jerked the first time, and when I went to cross his eyes the second time, and you could see him pull a rod back down. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I come out of the bathroom and Scott was telling Heather, he said, that motherfucker was trying to kill me. He said, him and JR, boy, he said he was baiting rod and reels like a damn guide. And every time they'd hook a fish, he said, get it, Scott, get it, Scott.
Yeah, he was. Well,
we got his shoulders hurting anyway. He just wouldn't say uncle.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I think he was a couple big fish away because we called a bunch of numbers, but we didn't catch no giant AJs.
I think the biggest one might have been 30 pounds. If
we'd have caught a couple like the one when me, you, and Al and Kenny went,
yeah,
a couple of those, he might have said uncle maybe.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna tell you, when that kingfish hit, dude, that scared the shit out of me. I mean, and that rod was in gear. It didn't have like 4 or 5 pounds of drag. It was probably at least 10 or 12 pounds. Tell
them what we did to catch that big ass king, Wes.
Well, just like I said, we put a little weight on it, throwed it off the back, and kind of let it sink a little bit. Just keep it in a little bit deeper water, just like I told y'all to do. And Pete, you're not going to enter. You're not going to say nothing.
He ain't paying attention.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
what did I say?
He's sitting there thinking, you better give me credit.
A little weight on it. Let it go down, like you said. Okay, I'm following.
No, Pete, we did what Pete said to do. He said, just when you set up, he said, just throw a bait. And what was so good about that day, though, Pete, was we threw the bait off the back. Dude, that current was rolling.
Explain to people what we did. You're not telling them what we did.
We took a dead bait. We weren't sure what it was. I think we found out later. We took some pictures of it. But Scott looked at it. He said, well, if I was a fish, I'd eat it. So we threw it out there, and we just let it drift behind a boat, maybe 30, 40 yards, 50 yards, and just locked it, put it in gear, and put it up in the rocket launcher on the tower. And we'd been fishing. Well, no, we had one hit. I'm sorry, we had that hit again.
That current was keeping it out, keeping it straight, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we got a hit and lost it. Got the bait, no hookup or nothing. So anyway, that second time, one of the baits we caught, Scott said, if I was a fish, I'd eat it. Let's just put it out there. So we hooked it up and put it out there. And I know it was what, JR, at least a good hour, maybe a little bit longer. We done forgot about
longer. It. Yeah. We got that one big hit, and it actually about tore that bait fish in half just about. And I was like, heck with it, man. It still looks like it's swimming in the current. Let's put it back out there. Actually, it was Scott's idea because I think I was wanting to change it. And Scott was like, no, man, that's such a good bait. Even though it's torn in half, it's still such a good bait. Let's put it back out there. I was like, okay.
So we put it back out, Pete, and we're cleaning the boat up. I was, JR and them was getting rods up, and I had the wash down. I was washing the boat down, blood and stuff, and stuff that I should do after we catch every fish, but I don't do it. That's why my boat looks like it does. But anyway, and I was standing right under it. And when I say it went off, dude, I could have swore that was a wahoo. I could have swore.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
It smoked that little dollar saltis.
What kind of bait fish was that, Wes? What did we decide that was?
Sand tile.
Sand
tile, yeah. Make good king bait. And
and he just nailed it. And it was, now I understand why they call them smokers. It was really interesting. And, we weighed it. I wasn't going to weigh it. I figured that fish might have weighed 20, 25 pounds.
I thought it would go 50. I ain't going to lie. I thought it was a 50-pound fish.
My bogus said 35 pounds, and Keith Wood, he said, no, that fish don't look like it weighed that much. But, pictures. I've seen some fish in pictures that didn't look nowhere near what they weighed. And I know they weighed that because I know the people that caught them.
Why would Keith say that? Why would he say that fish ain't 35 pounds?
That's just Keith, I guess.
He's a big time tournament fish.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
Keith, we weighed it. It was 35 pounds on bogas and Wes's old boga. He ain't ever oiled them things. Those are legit D-liars. The fish weighed 35 pounds all day.
But anyway, so we got the fish, and it was amazing the way that kingfish hit that rock, And it was, y'all say, it was free lined.
I'm gonna tell you this, Wes. So that the way you talk about that one kingfish in the last 3-4 weeks,
it impressed me. It really did.
You're gonna love fishing for kings in the fall, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love fall king mackerel fishing.
I don't really know how to fish.
If you really enjoyed that, I'm telling you, man, the fall time, you're going to be down there every damn day.
Well, let me tell you something, Pete. My buddy, we went down to Hilton Head last week. We didn't get the fish because, the power.
What's up, Matt?
Went out. Chuck Timon.
And Chuck, I've used ribbon fish.
Huh?
I was talking to Matt. He said, you guys ever use ribbon fish for kings? I was telling him I have. Actually, we used live ribbon fish and we used artificial ribbon fish. They make an artificial lure ribbon fish that's got like trebles all the way down it.
I do for tournaments only. I don't really fun fish with ribbon fish at all.
But anyway, Pete, so Chuck was talking about, I was telling him about the kingfish and everything. He said, Wes, he said, I'm going to tell you, he said, these guys down here, he said, the thing, a lot of people are scared to try new stuff, but he was catching 25 and 30 pound kingfish on planer boards. Just like I said, I knew that would work, but I never mentioned to him. He just brought it up. And I said, so you got on some kings? He said he caught 7 one day. And I said, what were you using for bait? He said he used them, they call them Manhattan on planer boards. I said, really? I said, I've mentioned that before and everybody said that it wouldn't work. He said, I promise you it works. He said, he said, a lot of these boats down here, he said, I seen one guy was watching me in binoculars. He even got his binoculars out. I could see him with the binoculars because he was trying to see what it was I was using. So that does work. He said he was trolling. I think he said about a mile an hour, maybe right at a mile an hour. And I always said, if you're trolling, why wouldn't a planer board? Why would they say a planer board wouldn't work?
think it's more the drag that's created by the planer board. I'm not saying it won't work. It's kind of hard to fight in the fish in a 20-pound line, light drag, and 2 or 3 foot seas sometimes, and the way he had to spread out there as well. But
he's in a bay too. It's not rough in there. It was back in some backwater. So
yeah, that's the thing. You gotta think about out in the ocean. You're not gonna have a perfect day often. So a lot of times we fish out there, it's 1 to 3 footers roughly. So yeah.
So we troll dead bait like a macahoo. If I'm gonna put a cigar mint on a macahoo, I want to troll it about 2.5 to 3 mile an hour,
give or take. Yes.
Bait. Yeah, and if I'm trolling a live bait, I want to stay around 1.
The answer with live bait is whatever keeps them straight. There's no real speed for it, but as slow as possible. Yes.
No faster than 6 miles per hour. That's what I've learned for menhaden. That's what I always did.
Well, how do you know if they're running straight?
1 mile an hour.
2 to 6 miles an hour is about how fast I would troll menhaden.
So Wes, this time of year, the menhaden you get are small.
Yeah.
So you got to slow down to keep them running straight without them skipping on top of the water.
Those we were getting were about like that.
Yeah, so those are babies. Those are.
I have a very small sample size on my anecdotal experience with trolling pogies for kings, but maybe it was the tide, because you know how the tide will influence your mile per hour on your graph. So that could have had something to do with it. But I found that 6 miles an hour, you couldn't go any faster than that. You'd wash them out. They wouldn't do right.
So Wes, in the fall, a lot of these menhaden you get are about 1 foot long. They're big.
Really?
And yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
They're 1 foot long, and if you just pop her in gear, a lot of times these dang menhaden, or pogies as I call them, they will outswim your damn boat. So,
really?
So I can't say 1 mile an hour or less. 1 mile an hour is a very good number, but a lot of times you get bigger baits and they will outswim the boat. So whatever it takes.
Now, are you catching those right off the beach? Those menhaden?
Yeah, right in the suds usually.
Because we always caught it as soon as you leave out of Southport. Right there, you turn right and there's like a pier over here that comes out.
Yeah, yep, that's gonna be Caswell Beach. Yeah.
We always caught them right in there. That's where we would just follow the boats. We'd go where all the boats were. We could see who were trying to catch bait, and there'd be 100 boats out there all throwing cast nets, catching bait. And most of the time, we probably went king fishing out there a dozen times, and probably half a dozen of those times somebody ended up just giving us bait. They were like, "Hey, you guys caught bait yet?" And we're like, "Nah." We'd be like, "Nah, we're still working on it." And they'd be like, "Come here, I got more than I can." And they would have like one throw, and they got it enough to sink their boat. Yeah, so they just thick in there. But I don't know that we ever saw more than like 8 or 10 inches, but maybe they were
there. Later on in the fall, as it gets cooler, you can definitely get foot long, even bigger. Really,
we always waited for that 68-degree water temp in the fall when we would hit it.
Number. Now, again, we're tournament fishing. A lot of times we'll go out there and catch bait in advance, or even on tournament day. We'll throw the net, and we may catch, just whole number here, we might catch 100 in a throw. And out of the 100, I might keep 15 baits and throw the net again.
So when you go out there and you catch the bait, it was because when I went, it seemed like you had to throw on a flip. You'd see the bait, you'd see the menhaden, and every once in a while you would see one flip.
Yeah.
And basically you had to throw that net on a flip to catch the bait. That was from my experience. You couldn't just like blindly throw the net and catch. You had to, it was very time consuming, and you might throw the net 20 times, but that one time you do get one, you finally get a throw on a flip. That's when you load up. Is that typically how it goes?
100% correct. Yes. I don't blind throw it off. If I see him flipping, then I will try to get right on top of it. Then I'll hold idle, and if I see a flip right in front of me, I'll throw that net right away. That's correct. Now, there are times where a lot of times you run the beach and you will not see him flipping. This is where the trained eye comes into effect here. A lot of times you run the beach, it's a calm day, no flip whatsoever, but you will see a slick on the top of the water. Okay, you'll see a nice little calm spot. The pogies are there nearby. So you find that slick.
I know what you're talking about, but that's kind of hard to see like first thing in the morning, isn't it? When it's still kind of
yes and no, but you really gotta look. That's the thing. You gotta focus, you gotta look. You find that slick, then a lot of times, from there you kind of find out, all right, which way is the current going? Is it going east-west? So basically the slick is going to be behind where the school of bait is. You find out which way the slick is moving, and you get ahead of it and throw the net.
Hang on, I gotta address Scott here.
Wes,
put that Scott comment up there.
While you address it, I gotta grab a cool one.
I wanted to address that, Mr. Perry. The reason you're saying is because your boat you can't ride 2 hours in your boat offshore unless you want to sink. And
you ain't gonna catch them. You ain't gonna catch them near shore in August, bud.
Yeah,
Go try to catch a 35-pound king in August out of South Carolina.
Yeah, Scott. If I had a blue bean, I'd have to stay inshore fishing. I wouldn't be able to go offshore. So I feel you on that comment. I tell you, Chuck told me something else too, and I didn't know this when we were catching bait. I was driving the boat, and I told him, and Chuck's pretty precise. Will be like, where they at, where you see flipping, And I remember I told him one time, I said, they're to your 10 o'clock, and he said, okay. He said, keep going 12 and then make a left. I said, hell, we're almost up on them. He said, no, the sun's behind us. He said, you don't want to throw a net. You want to keep them in the shade. You don't want to throw a net because your shadow, he said, when I throw that net and my shadow comes up over that bait, it'll scare the shit out of it. And he also told me something else too.
I like that.
He also told me something else. Did you know that putting your big motor in reverse will scare bait off?
Yes. It's not just
change?
Reverse. So, and I'm an asshole when it comes to net and pogies because I get pissed off when I can't catch them. And it's exactly that. A lot of times you come up on a school and let's say you're shifting gear, neutral, forward. They hear that damn clicking, they scatter every damn time. And it really pisses me off. But again, that's why I try to do things by myself with crews that don't know what they're doing for the most part, because I like to get ahead of the school and kind of sort of slowly drift towards them versus, clicking forward, backwards. So when they are in that mood where they're, scattered, I guess, they are hard to get.
Well, I was going to hit reverse. I told him, I said, hold on, just let me back up. He said, no, don't back up. He said, don't hit reverse. Just go a circle and go back around them again. I said, well, you just hit reverse. He said, it scares them off. He said, they'll stay right where they are. Just go wide and come back around them again.
Yep.
He caught bait. But I tell you, he was struggling throwing that net. Boy, he was mad as hell. Mm-hmm. He finally got some bait, but his net was all, I think it was kind of
fouled.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks.
I'm telling you boys need to come kingfishing with me in October. Guys, I'm telling you, you got to go.
I wanted to come last year and you never invited me.
I think last year sucked. That's why I never invited you, because it totally sucked in that hurricane.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What hurricane was that?
I don't know. It's one that went offshore or something like that. It stirred the water up so bad. There was no kingfishing last year.
That's right. I remember that.
But I have a 5 days in a row booked on a charter already. And then on the back end of that,
what's the dates?
The weekend of the 21st, I'm booked up.
No, for 21st of
October.
That's too early. You're gonna have to go. Nope. You're gonna have to go far out, man.
That's perfect. You
have to go far out. You're not gonna get them right off the beach in October.
Oh yeah.
Not smokers.
Deal.
Wes, come back to this show in October when he goes. Listen to what I tell you. He ain't gonna get no smokers off the beach.
JR, how much have you had to drink?
If that boy comes back with some smokers,
look at his eyes.
They went out. They didn't get them off
damn
the beach.
Shirt gives it away right there. Damn. I don't mind.
JR, you lit, ain't you?
I did this. I did this for a decade. JR. I went every year, multiple times a year for a decade. I'm telling you right now, he ain't gonna catch no smokers right off the beach in October. That ain't gonna happen.
JR, hold your high horse real quick.
I promise you.
Hold your high horse real quick. So what has happened weather-wise the last 4 or 5 years? I'll even go further back, the last 6 to 8 years. What has happened weather-wise?
I don't know. El Nino?
I wouldn't, there's no event, I'd call it, but it has not gotten cool early like it should. Right. It's been staying warmer and warmer each fall. So the last many years, about the middle of October, these fish have hit the beach big time. The last 4 years in a row, they have caught kings on the pier the first week of November.
I'm not telling you can't catch kings. I'm just telling you they're gonna be bailers. They're gonna be snakes. Shit. They ain't gonna be no kings like me and Wes just caught. Shit. Wes, they ain't gonna be catching no kings like the one we caught.
Was a fat fish.
They ain't gonna catch them in October off the beach.
You crazy as hell.
Ain't gonna be no 30+ pounders.
I'll teach you guys a lesson or two.
Hey, I can't wait. I mean, that impressed me. My big thing about fishing, why I guess I got into striper fishing, I like something that hits hard and aggressive. That first run smoke and drag, that's the exciting thing for fishing for me. And that kick, even JR, man, I said, damn, this is wild. Listen, that fish almost smoked that reel. If that fish hadn't have turned, he turned himself. I couldn't do nothing with him with that little saltus reel.
Tell you what you'll enjoy about kingfish in the fall time. You know, you're out there trolling, lollygagging. You know, a lot of your baits are on top of the water. You know, swimming. You see a bait get nervous. You're like, oh shit, something's about to happen over there. And all of a sudden, kapoosh! You know, and then it goes off. But a lot of times you're not paying attention. You go over, say, a 45-minute window where nothing's going on. You're having a good time, listening to music, whatever. And all of a sudden you hear explosion in the back of the boat. You know, shit's about to happen. So
Scott claims he knows how to catch kingfish down there in Destin, but I haven't never really seen any big kingfish he's caught.
You're listening to the Real Fisherman Podcast. Be sure to like and follow on Facebook, and be sure to share it with a buddy.
You need some help?
No.
You got it? That was on Peter's boat there, wasn't it? That last shot.
Yeah.
I thought I had a video of that king, big king on here, but I guess I don't.
But yeah, I look forward to it this year. While they got them in stock, you look at the belly on that fish, Pete.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be going out there in October catching them off the beach.
That was a good fish.
Well, what's your buddy Keith? What did he say that fish weighed, Wes?
He just said it wouldn't. He said it probably wouldn't even went 30 pounds.
He said, hey, what do you think, Peter? Your buddy said that fish wouldn't even went 30. What you think?
I'd say it's a solid 30+ for sure. I can tell that picture. The girth is massive in that fish.
I think that Keith is what's the word? What's the word for Keith? Cynical. I think Keith is cynical. I think he's already done it. He's done it so much that he doesn't even have fun doing it no more. He's just like, yeah. He's like, the Robert De Niro expression. Yeah. I don't even care. Like, yeah, I don't think it's 30. Yeah. Like, why is he like that? Get excited, guy. It's fun. It's fishing. Like, why are you doing it? Why did you go buy that new boat? Why are you doing all of this if you don't love it? I don't think he loves it. I think he loves to see other people love it, but he doesn't really love it anymore.
Oh, he loves it. He does. Deep down inside. He's like anyone else, like a certain time frame where, you kind of step up and you enjoy it a lot more.
Okay. He just seems like maybe he's just very introverted.
Maybe.
Here's what I found out, and Chuck Tyman told me this. When a fish is caught on your boat, it's still your fish. So I figured out I'll let them boys catch them big old amberjack and all my
damn.
And it's caught on my boat, so people think I'm the shit.
The cat.
Wes Rose.
I say on my boat all the time. The captain gets credit for all the damn fish caught, no matter what.
That's right.
Wes, you are the shit, buddy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
But
JR's drinking. That gives it away.
But listen, though.
If you only knew.
It's
if Wes only knew how much of the shit he actually is, he really is. Wes is the man. Everybody knows that Wes is the man. Wes, they just don't want to tell you, bud, but you the man.
No, listen,
you pull it out and you slap them with it.
I think I'm not a great fisherman. I think I'm a good fisherman. My biggest thing is I don't mind. I like to learn, and I don't think I know more than other people. And anytime somebody is willing to show me something, if I'm interested in it, I listen. Just like ringing the ballyhoo.
Nobody cares about how good of what we care about is you make it happen. That's why you got haters, is because you make it happen. Like, who gives a shit who knows what? I mean, I know a ton about fishing. You show me up. You're doing more in 3 years than I've done in 12 years. Way more. Like, I mean, you are out there making it happen. That's that's what matters. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have about fishing. You're out there making it happen. That's what matters, is you are putting the rubber on the road and you're making it happen. And not a lot of people can say that with results. I mean, that 35-pound king, I fished for kings for a decade. I never caught a king that big. I caught some kings that I said were that big, but I never caught a king that big. That's a big king.
We all caught that fish.
I'll be honest with you. So, Wes, I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest king I have personally ever caught. Personally, I got to think about this now. So, as I think about it more, I've caught a 42-pounder, okay? But other than that one rare event on a tournament, the second biggest king I personally ever caught was 34 pounds. That happened to be on the right fucking day in a tournament. But I can't tell you how many times the fish hit and I hand the rod to someone else and say, your turn or your turn, just hand it to random folks and, 38, 40, 44, 43, so, this is the past, by the way. So I'd say about 6-8 years ago, or even longer than that. But can't tell you how many big fish I knew it's big, but I'd rather have someone else roll it in than me fight it.
That's Wes's haters, people that have dedicated large portions, decades of their life to a sport. And Wes Rose comes in here and makes it look easy. And he's not about ego. He don't care. He don't care what you think about him. He doesn't care how much knowledge you have. He's going out there he's dragging monsters over the rail, and it pisses people off. That's what Wes's haters. That's why he has haters. I said it a long time ago in the chain gang. What I say?
I got haters. I don't even care. But Dieter's got a lot of haters, right? Right, Dieter? Get Dieter on here. He can relate to all this.
Okay.
Since he's around here, back from his little catfish festivities.
But there again, it's about learning and showing. Like I said, Pete and Keith both. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. Keith took me out to the ledge. He took me out to McMarlin. She said, look, this is where the wahoo is this time of year. They're here, certain blah, blah, blah. I had to go out there and catch them. He didn't go out there and hold my hand, but he gave me a starting point. Pete showed me how to rig the ballyhoo and how to rig bait, showed me about the Makahoo rigs. It's just been a learning thing, and I like to learn. If I'm interested in something, I love money. That's why I wanted to learn how to do heating and air conditioning. I want to learn something new about it every day.
Pete, how many people have you told that? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I've done that. I've done that before. I do that fishing for catfish on Lake Wiley. I'll do that on anchor. But how many people have you told that to, and they didn't have the success that Wes had?
A
lot. Exactly. That's my point. That's Wes Rose. That's the guy that takes something that's so impervious, so passive, and he actually capitalizes on it. And the guy that actually gave him the little nugget is actually blown away. He's like, wow, he went out there and caught a bigger fish than I've ever caught on my advice. Right. And that's not only happened to him in the saltwater world, that's happened to him in the freshwater world as well. Look at his accolades in the striper industry. Look how many giant stripers he's caught off.
It's little this, nuggets. All right? So it's plain simple. I got an easy answer for all this. There's some folks out there that have what I call a high fish IQ. Some people got it. Some people don't. Some people, you can show them everything, tell them, come here, come now, do this at the exact same spot right now, and they can't catch shit, or they just don't know what the fuck they're doing even after you school them. Some people just can't do it no matter what. Some folks don't have the IQ. Some folks do have that high fish IQ that know, hey, if I can't catch them here, well, you know what? Let's just go here instead. And, they whack them. Some people got it. Some people don't.
I think one of the coolest things I think I've did so far in saltwater fishing was, and this is just a little bit, there was a bait, and I forgot what they call that rig. But it was Pete, I forgot what if you say the name of it, I would tell you. But JR had
rig, Sabiki rig.
No. This was a big wahoo rig, but it was just made to pull by itself. It had the rubber around the eye of the hook. Something like, not an Islander, or maybe it was an Islander.
Maybe it was Islander. Yeah, that's a very common.
Islander is shaped like a bullet. It's got
a sea witch or something.
Sea witch.
Okay.
You know, I had the rubber around the hook, and I was like, well, how the hell can I pull a dead bait on this? I don't have nothing to, it wasn't set up for dead bait. So I kept looking at it. I said, wait a minute. So I just want to try something new. I wanted to try something. So I took that little piece of 108 wire and made an L. And I stuck it up through the eye of the hook, and I rubber banded it around the rubber part of the hook. So I said, well, now I got something to tie off to. So I put me a ballyhoo on it, cleaned my ballyhoo out, knocked his eyes out, put the ballyhoo on it, and then, pushed his bill, pushed his nose down on the little piece that I made, put rubber bands around it. And we was pulling it 15 minutes, and Kenny Moore caught a 30-pound dolphin, mahi. Then we got on offshore. We hooked up on a wahoo. We got the wahoo to the boat. It's about 25 pounds. And then that second wahoo we hooked, that was a smoker, and got him to the boat, and he turned around and spit the hook. And that wahoo was every bit of 35 or 40 pounds. That was a big wahoo for that time of year, and it made me feel good because I was like, hey, I come up with this idea on how to run a dead bait on this rig.
Catching something on your own rig. Yeah.
So, but there again, I think one of the best feelings I've ever had in fishing, and it was in saltwater, was, when I went out there, I rigged those bally. I made these rigs. I ordered the heads for them, but I made them. I made the wire leaders. I did the twisting. I put the hook on them, put the weight on it, then did the haywire twist again, left my pin up. I go out there, I rig ballyhoo, put them on, I troll. And my second time, other than me and you and Pete, when me and Anson was out there, we put four wahoo in the boat. My first trip ever being offshore. And that was just probably one of my greatest days fishing.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, kind of laugh about this all the time. Never seen a grown-ass man smile as big as that one day we took West fishing. We caught them dolphin, and then that what we think was the wahoo that hit towards the end of the day.
Oh, hell yeah.
That damn thing hit, and he damn stomped on our damn toes, grabbed that fucking rod. I was like, hey, there you go, but we lost that fish. But I never seen a grown man smile like that ever.
Dude, that's what got me. That trip is why I started saltwater fishing. That trip.
You got spoiled that day, buddy, because I tell you
He did. I remember saying, I hope you don't think it's going to be like that all the time.
Yeah, you got spoiled that day, because those days that exact day right there, I could maybe count on one hand the entire years I have fished saltwater. We've caught dolphin like that on one hand.
Listen, next year we need. I know that the saltwater fishing out of South Carolina is good, but it would behoove you guys to let's all go in together, about 5 or 6 of us, me, Peter, Wes, Scott, and maybe James Long, a couple of the guys. Let's go out of Hatteras in May.
And let's charter for sure at a Hatteras Inlet.
We'll catch, how you go out and you catch like a crap load of chicken dolphin, 10, 20, 30 chicken dolphin. Imagine going out and catching 10, 20, 30 bulls, like every single one of them bulls.
What makes Hatteras so great? Because it's closest to the Gulf Stream.
It's where all the currents meet, right?
That's where you go to catch them bull dolphin in May. Every fish you catch are them bull dolphin. I'm talking, they big, they real big.
Yep.
You send Dieter an invite?
Yeah, I sent him one.
Hey, Scott Perry's got a comment here, and Josh Flynn told me also. He said, Wes, anytime you're trolling offshore, he said, I don't care how many rods you're pulling, always use one of those. He said, I've never trolled without a cedar plug.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the plain ones, the ones you buy out of the pack, no colors.
Did y'all bring the hook out of your cedar plug a little bit? Or did y'all leave it the way it came? How the hook
it came, but they say they make something that you want it to kind of.
I always put a crimp on mine, and I would make my the hook come out of the cedar plug a little far, about that far outside of the cedar plug, so you get a better bite on the fish that way instead of the cedar plug being pushed up against the gap of the hook. I never did like that.
Yeah, it kills a lot of the curvature of the hook. It kills about a 0.25% of it, actually.
Yeah, you don't want that.
But hey, I've had some cedar plugs out there that looks like wahoo just tore them up. I mean, just splintered them. It looked like a bunch of splinters.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Lane Cravens says that he's going out of Hatteras this weekend if the weather holds up. It's looking good right now.
This weekend looked really good. Yep. There is a huge king tournament happening this weekend out of Oak Island, Southport.
The U.S. Open.
No. That's the first weekend of October. This is the they call it the Meat Mayhem. It's a new pro circuit tournament trail that they
Kingfish.
have 6 per year, I think. It's too high dollar for Keith, I think.
What fish? What are they fishing for?
King.
Oh, kingfish.
I think $100,000 first place, I believe is what it is.
There'll be a lot of 6,500s and 17-pound red Cajun out there.
A buddy of mine actually won it a month ago down in Charleston, I think it was, down that way somewhere. 94K is what they came home with.
Oh my God. A lot of luck.
They got a 51-pounder on tournament day, and second place was like 38 pounds.
Well, it's been a pretty good show.
Only 45 minutes in.
Hey, Pete, won't you come down? I was thinking about taking Lori out, maybe to do some bottom fishing Saturday.
Dude, this week I am done the rest of this month. I have a charter booked for the last Monday of the month. I want to say it's August 26th. But, man, I am so burnt out right now from the last 2-3 weeks that I'm making sure these off days I have right now and the following week, I am not leaving my little town right here at all, period. The end.
Benji Smith must be drunk tonight. Talking about 6,500s are the shit. They're Chinese garbage. But anyway.
Damn, I saw someone on Facebook Marketplace selling some for dirt cheap.
The Swedish 6,500s are great. They do have a low-end Chinese 6,500.
Yeah, that's why I said the Chinese ones are garbage.
Yeah, they're garbage. I agree with that.
I know what I was going to ask you, Pete. Yeah. And anyway, Rod was telling me last night. He said, Wes, he said, there's fish out there, but they're just so scattered right now because the water's so hot.
That's true.
So I'm just wondering if it's even worth going out 30 miles.
30 miles, I would probably not go further than 35, 40 miles for bottom fishing.
Yeah.
If you really want grouper, man, I'd go there about 130 to 160 foot of water or even deeper. But personally, me, man, this time of year, this is the tough time right now. It's just tough all around. I don't get excited about bottom fishing. So September is when things really start lighting off. The wahoo start showing up. The bottom.
When's it gonna be a good time for me to go out there and fish them numbers out there by the tower?
I went out there pretty recently and a lot of short fish, man. A lot of small fish.
Those ones I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when will them fish be back in there again?
Probably January.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, that was a money spot. We rolled up on that spot, JR, dude, and we was catching them. I couldn't even catch fish because Lori was getting 2 at a time. We was there 30 minutes and we had our limit.
Yeah, this has been fun doing this with you guys, but I'm just not a big going out there and catching some bunch of snapper, bunch of, I can go buy fish at Walmart. I don't really care about keeping a bunch, cleaning a bunch of fish. I don't guide. I don't have my captain's license, and I just really don't get into going out there and catching a bunch of meat. Those guys, they pay y'all to go out there and fill a cooler up so they can eat good, saltwater fish, have good table fare. I don't get into that. That's not my thing. I want to catch something big. I want something big. I don't give a shit about your little snapper and your little grouper.
Oh boy's lit.
I want something big. I want something big. Lit. Who gives a shit about these little?
Well, I'll put you on amberjack.
Boy's lit.
And I loved it. I loved it. I would rather go do that. I would rather go catch amberjack than go catch, vermilion snapper and, black bass and all these little. I go to Lake Wiley and catch crappie. I go to Lake Norman and catch crappie, or I go catch trout fishing in North Carolina.
Listen, dude, them black sea bass. Don't get on my black sea bass.
Why do you want to drive? Why do you want to do this? Boom, 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 and spend $800 for 2.5 hours to get out there, 2.5 hours to get back to catch some stupid little.
I don't go out there to catch black sea bass. I'm going out there to catch wahoo and troll and.
Okay, there you go. I'm down for that.
I'm talking about the 25 or 30 mile mark. If it's black sea bass and snapper, snapper.
JR, what's your drink of choice tonight?
It's 100 proof Heaven Hill. 100 proof.
Heavenly Hill. That's
Heaven Hill Distillery. No, Heaven Hill Distillery, 100 proof, bottled in bond. Evan Williams.
Hey, Riggs.
Oh, the JR and his damn screaming has woken his ass up.
Damn.
What kind of reel is this?
Chinese.
I can hear it. I hear the bearings clicking in it.
I'm gonna say it's not Chinese. I'm gonna. Oh, here it is. It's still got the made in sticker on it.
Made in Taiwan.
Oh no. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Made in Japan.
Indonesia.
No, you guys haven't guessed it yet. Keep guessing.
What brand is it?
Shimano.
Shimano.
Japan.
It's a card.
Japan.
I wish it was Japan. It'd be a $600 reel, but
made in Mexico.
It's a Cardiff, so it's only like what are these things called? $89.
Made in Mexico.
No, it's not made in Mexico. Mm-mm.
You got Taiwan, Hong Kong, Mexico, China.
Nope.
Singapore.
Nope.
Thailand.
Nope.
Hold on, let me get my phone. I'll tell you.
Don't Google it. Are you gonna give up?
No.
Give us a clue, JR.
It's made in South Carolina.
I mean, how much of a clue do you want, dude? It's an Asian country. There you
Asia.
go.
Vietnam.
No.
China. Korea. No, not Korea.
No,
Korea makes
no.
shit.
Yeah, they do. Korea makes a lot of shit.
Make a lot of bombs.
They make guitars. They make reels. They make all kinds of shit. But no, it's not. It's not Korea. Mm-mm.
I give up.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Does it have a knees on it? Does it end in knees?
No.
Okay. So
all right. Before we get too far down that rabbit hole, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's Malaysia. There you go.
That was my next guess. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. Can you see that?
See it.
Yep.
Well, I was just trying to rule out Japanese, Vietnamese, and Chinese.
I need to know.
Look at these.
JR.
So when are we going to do our overnight trip?
I told you the last time we brought this up. I just don't see this ever happening. It's too big of an ordeal. It's a lot. A lot has to align for that to happen.
Well, my schedule, I'm pretty much open.
I mean, I'm open too. I mean, I'm not one of the ones that's not making it happen. I'm just saying it's first of all, it's scary. I think a lot of people, it's easy to say you'll do something like that, but to actually go and do something like that, it takes some you have to make sure everything is in order, everything is legit.
That's for Benji. That's for Benji.
That looks like it tastes delicious.
It's amazing.
I thought you were fixing to hold up a White Claw.
Nope.
So JR says it's probably not going to happen, Pete. We're not going to get to go out on the boat and spend the night one night. So
the way I saw JR and Scott cuddled up in bed, I don't want to go out at night no more.
Oh man,
we're real with it.
It would be so hot out there.
I'll stay in there in Wes's boat. I don't give a fuck. Y'all go ahead and cut up those damn bean bags together. No, sir.
What would it feel like out there? What would the atmosphere look like 70 miles out?
With no light,
70 miles. Pollution. Imagine the sky.
I've been out there.
You could take a low aperture, wide angle lens. Imagine the shots you could get with a good camera. I think if we do that, we need to take Dieter with us. Dieter's got a full frame camera. He knows how to get those shots out there. That would be ideal, is to actually make a video of the whole thing. That would be awesome.
I did get my September work schedule, and I will say that with the exception of weekends in September, it's pretty good. So there may be several opportunities to fish in September during the week.
Okay, so me, Peter, Dieter, Scott, and Wes. That's 5 people. Is that too many?
I can get a couple as well. Say do 2 boats maybe.
Yeah, actually, it's not a bad idea to buddy boat.
No,
that's actually a great idea.
Hey, I'm actually servicing my boat right now, so she should be ready to go here next week.
we could put, and if it's not rough, we could put bumpers out and tie them together.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll have to meet midway somewhere because I'm not running way down your way and you're not running way down my way. So we got to find a place kind of midways.
Yeah.
And I got something for us, I think.
I could meet you maybe south of the tower.
I got a place. I got several places out there that will be pretty good midways. Navy Rec, 100, 400. Should be pretty good.
Well, we're taking the camper down. We're going to leave Thursday morning about 3 o'clock. Hopefully I'll be in Myrtle Beach about 8:30, and we're going to try the camping life for about a year down there and see how we like it. That North Myrtle Beach resort, RV resort, is awesome, dude. It's not as big as Ocean Lakes, and it's only as the crow flies. It says by GPS, and there again, that'll change depending on traffic, 8 to 10 minutes from my boat. Now they do dry dock there. They got a full-fledged marina there, but it's on intercoastal. So the only thing I would be looking at there is if I decided to bring my boat up there is having to go under the swing bridge and through all those no-wake zones right there around Captain Archie's and all that. And I would be an hour or better getting to the inlet every morning. And then, you always got to get permission. And if, my luck, have a big trip planned and the swing
you're old.
They can't open it.
You're old if your shirt has a built-in sunglass cleaner or eyeglass cleaner on it. Check that out.
So anyway, Pete, I think I'm gonna keep my boat where it is. They're good to me there. Hell, they treat you like a king, and just drive. I'd rather drive 10 minutes on land instead of just. It'd be cool to just walk down to your boat, leave your camper, go to your boat, and get on it. But all the no-wake zones, going through the swing bridge.
All right, guys, this is the end of the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Now back to the poor people. So what are you other poor people doing this weekend?
Peasants. Damn peasants, right?
Shit, I'm in a trailer park. All I'm doing.
When I grow up, I want to be like West Rose, almost. Kind of.
No, I don't want to be like me. Hell, I'm old as smoke, got COPD.
But you pulled them over the rail, brother.
Well, Scott Perry put no tubs. I don't know, what does that mean?
He explained that to me one time before. I had to ask. Let me think of what no. No tubs. The wheelbarrows. You remember when they were out of the tubs, the wheelbarrow things at the little.
Yeah.
You lost it. You said, "I pay such and such a year or a month for this place, and they can't even get a effing tub."
Scott, this is your chance. JR's hammered on the damn show. It's your chance to come on right now and give him shit. But no, you're just staying, sending comments like a little
scared. He's scared of JR when he's drunk.
So I guess I don't know. That damn shirt though, JR. Fuck sakes.
You look like Magnum PI.
I like it. I think I look sexy in it. I do. It feels good too. It's comfortable. I might play it tomorrow. I might wear it tomorrow to play cornhole in.
Oh hell!
Hey Pete, I want to hear that drag on that 30 wide, that Tiagra 30 I bought. That clicker sounds weird. It don't sound like any other reel. It's got almost like a blunt sound to it. Does that make any sense? I can't wait to hear that thing scream. Yeah, it's not like a real loud high pitch. It's like a low pitch click.
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
Contraband combats, baby. What y'all know about that?
Y'all knows that JR just completely quit fishing and started playing cornhole because he sucks at fishing, I guess. I don't know.
Well, hey, JR, let me ask you now, and it's been almost a month. How's our video coming?
Listen, I put a lot of that video in that Hellcat video. Like I don't know. I'm not even sure I can even make a video with what I got left. I probably could.
That 12-second, the 12-second video.
I probably could. I'll have to look and see.
Hey, he's a real fisherman right there now.
What's up, Dieter?
That's not real fisherman. That's Dieter Melhorn fishing.
To get everything connected over. Okay, I can hear you now. How you doing, guys?
He's done changed his name to Captain Dieter Melhorn. I like it. It's like doctor.
It's been that way for a long time. It's been that way for a long time. That is not new. Yeah.
Not that long. Come on, Dieter. I've been watching you since like 08, guy. It ain't been that long.
I
Scroll back.
I put Captain Pete on mine too, but you know, I don't care.
How you guys doing?
Where JR's hammered. Wes is, you know,
listen, from the time y'all sent me the invite, I had to take a call, and JR was feeling good. I could tell when I left to answer the phone, and now JR looks lit like a firecracker. So,
Hey, his eyes was like this.
has he fallen?
They're always like that. When are they not like that?
Has he
Come
fallen asleep yet? Like he did
damn
that one
shirt
night.
looks like a damn firecracker.
on.
But
I've never fallen asleep on the show either.
You did fall asleep one time. You did. You were leaned over, and they said something to you a couple times, and then finally it's like,
I was probably reading something on my phone or something.
Hey, Dieter,
Okay.
we're coming back one day from an offshore trip, and I was tired. I mean, JR and them, they worked me like a rented mule, and I was beat. So I told JR, I said, you want to drive a little bit? And he said, sure. So he gets over there driving, right? And I'm sitting right next to him. We're sitting there riding, and I just glanced. I didn't really look at him. I looked at the depth finder at the mapping. I said, God damn, we're half a mile off track. And then I looked over at JR, and he was like, yes.
Let me tell you something about Wes.
No,
Let me tell you something about
Lord.
Wes.
He was sound asleep. And I said, oh,
Wes-
shit. And I said, JR,
tell you something.
Wes gets his rocks off by watching you fail. He'll set you up to fail, and then he loves it, and that's the reason he does that is right now. This instance, right now, this is why he does the things like that. Is because he gets to do this right now. I'll be right back.
Did you or did
Since
you
we
not
got
go
Dieter on the
sleep
show, I'll be
night?
right back. I'm gonna go get another drink.
Oh hell!
oh hell.
But anyway, Dieter. So I wake him up, and he gets to. I said, "Look, man," I said, "I'm gonna go up here in the front and lay down for a minute." So I went up in the cabin. Dude, I mean, I was tired. I was, you know, where you just tired. You're dead. And then I couldn't go to sleep because every 5 minutes I'd be like, JR, you good? JR, you good?
Last week when I went fishing, you know, on the ride in, I was kind of tired, and JR actually came to mind. I'm running, you know, I'd say about 25 miles offshore heading in, and I'm extremely tired, but not dozing off. But then, you know, JR came to mind. I'm like, how in the fuck can you fall asleep doing this? Because, you know, for me, I'm too paranoid to fall asleep behind the wheel of whether it's a dang boat, car, airplane, whatever. I can't do it. You know, just no matter what, no matter how tired I am, I will not fall asleep until, you know, the rope's tied off.
Wes, are you running offshore? And by the way, thank you publicly. Thank you for the invites to go fishing. Pete, don't feel bad. I wasn't able to go with him either, so it's not just you. But are any of y'all making any runs anytime soon?
Nothing immediately planned. I'm taking about a 2-week break right now just because I'm just exhausted from everything.
Cool. I know your pain. So yeah.
Later, I'd tell you to come down this weekend. I might take my wife out, do a little bottom fishing, but right now fishing's really sucking down there. The water, I think last I heard, the water right there at Little River Inlet at the inlet was 88 degrees yesterday.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's hot, yeah. And
yeah,
you know, the guy said they've caught some. They caught, I think he said they caught 8 or 9 grouper, but they had to move like 18 times to find fish. He said everything's just scattered. So I wouldn't tell you to come. I wouldn't even tell you to come this weekend. Not, you know, unless you not too much.
Weekend. I'm sitting here looking at the calendar. Week after Labor Day, if anything shakes out, then keep me posted. Last week of September. There's a big gap there too. So
yeah, that's when
I am off the last week of September. There is actually a big king tournament happening the last Friday, Saturday, the 29th, 30th September.
I'll pre-fish with you because I've got a commitment that weekend.
There, but pre-fishing that time of year more than likely is going to be in that 30 to 40 mile range.
Yeah. Hey, Dieter.
Thank you.
You know Jeff Bill?
What's that?
Jeff Bill.
Do you know Jeff Bill?
Yes.
He is he's commissioning a tournament next weekend, Saturday night, flathead only tournament. Online.
Where at?
You get to pick your body of water. I initially told him Wiley. I think I'm going to change mine to Norman, but flathead only. I think I want to say it's 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. maybe.
Yeah.
And every rod has to be in frame. Now, I mean, you're probably not going to get a lot of hits on it, so I don't know if you'd want to get in it, but may not be worth your time.
I'd lose. I don't fish for those kind of. I fish for little fish. You know, that's my job as a captain, is to catch little fish.
Well, you know, a couple of episodes ago, I tried to teach you how to catch the big fish, and you didn't want to listen to me. So
why don't you always go to High Rock? If you want flatheads, why don't you go to High Rock? You know, High Rock.
It's a great place for flatheads. That used to be the like only place for really big flatheads. But honestly, I think Wiley is honestly producing some similar fish. I don't know if they've got the numbers High Rock does, but they're getting some high end fish.
The good old Carolina Sportsman. Yeah, that's you can read that online. You know, High Rock, the flatheads, blah blah blah. There's Lake Norman is a sleeper flathead fishery, a trophy flathead fishery.
I don't know that you'd call it sleeper. That place has been producing flatheads for a while. That's a
trophy flatheads, 30 plus pounders.
Oh, I'm talking 50 plus pounders. There've been several 50, 56, 58 pound fish weighed out of Norman.
You say several over a decade or several over a month? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, does it matter? I mean, they're big fish.
All I know is I fish.
I've never seen a 60 out of Wiley. I've never seen a 60 out of High Rock.
Me and Spivey fish. There hasn't been any 60s out of High Rock. I thought High Rock was like a trophy flag.
I've never seen one. I've never seen one. There may have been. I don't think any.
Honestly, but
I don't think any have been weighed in any tournaments. I may be wrong. I don't follow tournaments like I used to, but they used to be the place for 30, 40, 50 pound fish, and still got them. And
we can't put too much stock in tournaments. I mean, I realize that's like the only like scientific study that we can get are tournament results, but you know, you can't put all your eggs in the tournament results basket.
Oh, I agree.
Hey, JR, come down to Clarksville.
Yeah.
Clarksville's a very damn good cat fishery.
Clarksville has the state record flathead in it. It just hadn't been caught yet.
Yeah.
Hartwell's a good trophy flathead fishery too, I think.
Dieter, last time I talked to you, you wanted me to kind of keep you updated on the whole lithium battery thing. Man, I'm telling you right now, that's pretty badass. So
it is, ain't it? What brand did you go with?
What's that?
What brand did you go with?
The
Ionic.
Do you got the app?
Yes, I do.
I showed JR that, and that blew his mind. He said, "I cannot believe
awesome.
You can check your battery on."
Yeah, I got Everstarts on my boat, so having an app that shows you how much battery life you have left is pretty daggum bougie.
It's definitely worth it, man. If you want to go lithium,
it's too guys. When is too much too much?
Well,
fish. If you fish often, absolutely. But if you fish like once a month, maybe no, not at all.
Even if you fish often, like I could fish often and I still don't have to have ionic batteries. I still don't have to have lithium batteries, even if I fished often.
But over time, you know, I feel like give it a couple years and the cost will surpass.
Yeah, 11-year warranty. Gerald, I took three AGM batteries off my boat.
You guys aren't anchoring enough.
If you only knew what I got my batteries for.
Yeah, all
right, so who needs batteries?
For the water.
I'll talk.
Okay, let's let Dieter talk. Let's let Dieter talk.
So I don't know when I spoke to you about that last bit. I think we talked a little while back. I think since then I went to ICAST, and that's what I spent day 2 doing, was going around to all of the lithium dealers there. And my God, there are a lot of them. There's the big ones, Ionic, and all the ones that everybody knows, but there are so many other brands out there that are selling those things. I'm supposed to go down to Atlanta end of the month. There is a lithium distributor down there that I'm actually going to shoot some stuff with and go into a little in-depth stuff with them. I met them at the show. But man, there's a bunch of them out there. There's a lot of different stuff. What I'm curious about is just where the quality is. Somebody was mentioning something about an 11-year warranty. There's a lot of read the details on the warranty on that kind of stuff. I'm kind of trying to get a feel for where the warranty is. A lot of these things are prorated and there's replacement fees and blah, 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 blah. But I think some of the price is getting to something closer. It's never going to be as cheap as wet batteries, but
Dieter, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to go lithium, talk to me. I'll get you batteries for pretty.
I wonder if it's kind of like the lead acid batteries and the AGM batteries.
I can't tell you like how much on air.
One or two companies that's making all of them. Even though you got all these different brands, they're still under one umbrella. It's like Johnson Controls, I think, makes most of 99% of your lithium or your lead acid batteries, like your Interstates and your Everstar. It's like one company makes all those different brands. It's just a different label on the battery. It's probably the same way in the lithium battery industry.
What's the difference between Duracell and Energizer batteries? Nothing really, right?
Well, in the 5th grade, I did a science project on alkaline batteries, and Duracell won. But it was very, very close. When it comes to alkaline batteries versus any like the heavy duty batteries or any of that other cheap crap, the alkaline batteries are definitely the way to go. You get a lot more bang for your buck. But Duracell back in 1989 was the best.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, I gave up a lot of weight. I think I went 136 volt, and I think that battery weighs 34 pounds. I ran it the day me and Scott and JR was out there, and we had a hell of a current. And that was one of the hardest currents I've ever fished in offshore. I run that trolling motor. It was on 5 and 7 for almost 6 hours.
We're just getting started, buddy.
And it only used 60% of the battery. I still had 40% of the battery left at 6 hours running from 5 to 7 back and forth.
Yeah. So here's a question, because I talked to several of these different battery brands down there that want to do some promotional stuff. And right now I've got a 24 volt motor on my Lund. I got only a 12 volt on my Skiff. Don't you think it would be smart of me to upgrade the motor to a 36 on one of the boats, maybe the Lund, put the 24 onto the Skiff?
Or just
if they're going to provide 36 volt batteries to do this test with.
Yes.
If they're going to provide,
I think so too.
What is the cost difference in that 24 to 36 volt trolling motor?
$200 That's it.
I don't know.
$200.
300 at best. Yeah.
Yeah. You start getting over 300. I mean, you're talking a third of the price of the trolling motor. I don't know, man. I mean, 24 volts really all you need for a 20-foot boat.
I'm gonna tell you this. So I've done extensive research on my whole lithium system. Okay. Initially, I bought one 36 volt battery, but after thinking about it, I'm like, no, I'm gonna pass on this. I'm gonna go with 3 12 volts. Okay. A couple reasons. Number one is if your 36 volt fails, your entire troll motor system fails.
It's gone. Okay. Yeah.
Number two, and this is the main determining factor right here, was you do need a separate charger for your 36 volt battery only.
Yeah. I had to buy one.
Yeah.
And that's what changed everything.
That's another cost. Yeah. You're going from
if you get
$300 now you're up to $600 more.
Well, when I
go all 12 volt batteries, you can get a charger for all of your actual, like your starting battery. If it's not lithium, you can get a charger to pretty much.
Yeah. And if you have to take one off charge and put another one on charge, it's fine. It'll work. But a 36 volt, you're looking at minimum $300 for a charger, correct?
Exactly.
No, mine wouldn't. Mine was $277.
Okay, $277. Okay.
Well, $300.
It's not $300. $277.
Hey, but what was good was I had a Minn Kota Precision 3-bank regular charger. It would do AGM, gel, and the regular batteries. What's the word? How they got it worded on there?
Lead acid.
But I sold it for $250. So I only came out like $30, maybe $40 out of my pocket and got to 36 volt ionic.
Yeah,
so,
you're one of the best buy and sell guys I know. Yeah, you will buy something and sell it in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
When I buy something, I hold on to it for, I don't know, 18 years.
Next time
Sadly, I'm the same way.
I'm gonna be like, hey Wes, you should buy that right there, and then like a year later, or a month later, be like, hey, I'll buy that from you for like 50% less you pay for it.
If I don't want, listen, my daddy, I learned something from my daddy. When I buy something, everything that I've got at my house on my boat, I'm using it. At some point, I use it, or I know I'm going to use it. But if it's something that don't hold my interest no more, or I don't think I'm going to use it no more, it's gone. Because one thing, I'm not so hoarder. I ain't hoarding shit. If I can't use it, if I don't think I can use it, I'm going to get rid of it. I mean, at one time you can ask JR, I had about 80 rod and reels in my building. All that shit's gone. I can't, who the hell can fish with 80 rods? I'm just buying shit because I like it. And I might say, well, I'm going to use that.
How many rod and reels you got, Dieter?
I have no idea. I counted them at one point. I have no idea now.
I've got about 40.
I'd say you got at least 50.
What?
50 rod and
Rods
reels?
or reels?
No, rod and reels. If you got rods without reels or reels without rods, do an average. I'd say about 50 rod and reels.
If it was only 50, I'd feel a lot better about myself.
Really?
So,
okay.
yeah.
I don't feel so bad now. Then I need to
get.
We both need to take some advice from Wes and get rid of a bunch of the junk that we don't use.
I mean, look, I've got so many. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18 of them as a prop on a set in my studio. So
wow.
What does that tell you? So,
you're special.
Yeah, I got way too much. Way too much. So
hey, I will. Y'all see the comment up here on the screen, Dieter? I will say this, not just because JR is my friend, but JR worked his ass off on that video. He made a great video offshore for those rods.
Oh, Dieter liked it. Dieter shared it.
They still have.
I think I did. I think that's the one I did put up on my Facebook page.
No, I mean, Catch the Fever hadn't said nothing. They still hadn't put it up, but they put Peter's up. They called a 2-pound puppy shark, and that son of a bitch has been viewed 5,000 times.
There you go.
Well, we're kind of
like me and JR. I'm trying to tell
we're edgy. You can't blame them. You can't blame them. They can't invest in someone that's going to sit here and say motherfucker on their show. I mean,
hell, Pete,
I think it was you sucking down the Bud Light, half the ball in your mouth.
That and there's probably a large host of reasons why, but that's fine. I still love them, Dieter. I'll always love.
Do you realize how many times I've heard Peter say "goddamn" and "motherfucker" and "son of a bitch" on this show?
I cuss I won't deny it.
So on a serious note, while we're on the Hellcat rod thing, what is y'all's take? And I know y'all guys aren't into the catfish world, but you see it at a glancing blow. What is y'all's take on all the? And it's a good point to ask you guys because you're more into the saltwater world, and you see the bigger picture, but when you look at the catfish world with the Hellcats, the big cat fever, the mad cats, the tangling with cat, everything out there, what's your take on it? Is it silliness? Is there anything to be gained out of all of it? No,
it's marketing, it's capitalism, it's free market. It's just like the battery. You were just talking about how many different brands of lithium batteries there are now. I guarantee you only like one manufacturer is making all those, maybe two. You got all these different brands. It's the same thing in the catfish rod industry.
Is it like that in the saltwater world? I mean, we know there's Penn and all the big brands. Are there any of the like?
Yes. Well, the difference is these Penn and Daiwa and all these big companies have contractual agreements with these OEMs. And these smaller companies do not. That's why they're able to get the exact same product with their label on it and their brand on it. They're building a brand. That's all it comes down to is them building a brand, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right. And they've built one hell of a brand too, because it's crazy how you look at Mad Cats. Because I don't know about you, but I'm just going to be honest here. I look at Mad Cats as trailer park, compared to Catch the Fever.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
That's the funny thing about building a brand is
because he's stuck on Catch the Fever.
Now, I think Dieter would agree with me. I think most people would agree with me. When they look at Catch the Fever, they have class. And as far as the catfish rod industry goes, they're the classiest brand, are they not?
What's wrong with Mad Cats? I would say Mad Cats don't have class.
But why would you say trailer park about?
Well, okay, everybody needs a Kid Rock. Everybody needs a Kid Rock. You know, we got look at Chris Cornell. You know, look at all of the Soundgarden, but then look at Kid Rock. Okay, Kid Rock is the trailer trash, the edgy, that the trashy version of in this genre. Same way with Mad Cats. Mad Cats is the, hey, you know what? Mad Cats, baby. That's what it is. And
let me have a moment of talk here whenever you're done here. It's gonna give me about 2-3 minutes here.
I can totally elaborate. I can elaborate further, but I will.
So
my time.
You know, Shane Washer, he's a big part of Catch the Fever, I guess. And I talk to him, a lot, actually. I talk to him very regular. And, I had a little heart to heart with him some time ago. I told him, listen, your ass is in trouble. And the reason why is because the Catfish brand is kind of sort of encompassing a very small group of people. Okay. Right. So in essence,
100%.
Once all these people get all the rods they need, there's nothing else out there for them. Okay. So this is where Catch the Fever is really trying to expand out to cobia fishing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Everything else.
Avert your eyes.
Mad Cats.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah. So, but damn.
Somebody, please, for the love of God, screen record this.
This is Mad Cats. This is Mad Cats.
I remember my first beer. But anyways,
I'm right. You know I'm right.
So all the catfish brands, they're all based off of a small margin of people.
Here's the two things. There's two things that I'm
mostly. Let me finish real quick. Let me finish.
Let Peter finish. Wes.
So all these people buy all these rods that they need now. Whether it's Mad Catch, Catch Fever, there's nothing else out there for them. There's no market to expand on at all. So this is why Catch the Fever is really trying hard now to branch out to Spanish fishing, flounder fishing, sturgeon fishing, gator snagging, everything else, because they got to catch a market out for some other group out there so they have a future down the road. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're broadening their demographic.
After Wes talks,
crappie fishing also. Crappie fishing is big with Catch the Fever with their new, rods as well. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, they got what? Crappie, striper, and catfish rods.
Correct. Yeah. So they're trying to reach out there long term for a wider group of folks out there for the rod business.
Go ahead, Wes. You were going to say something.
My biggest thing with Catch the Fever that I've noticed, and I'm not knocking them, I'm just from what I see online because I follow them online. My biggest thing is they promote all this stuff and people want it, but they don't never fucking have it. All I see comments is, when are you going to have this stuff? We can't find this. Why are y'all? And I've even heard people say, why are y'all promoting this stuff if you don't keep it in stock? And I've seen hundreds of those comments. Okay.
Yeah.
And my second point,
I think a lot of their inventory is going to their expanding dealer network. And it's one of those catch-22s. Is you want dealers to sell everything because that makes your life a lot easier. It reduces your costs and increases your margin. But you got to have enough inventory for the people that are coming to you, because a lot of people see you as the only one, as being the one. I mean, when I drive traffic, I drive it to their website, and if they ain't got it, trust me, I get the messages. Oh, love to get that rod you're using, but they don't have it. And I think that's something that happens with a smaller brand. I don't think Shakespeare has that same problem. When they buy stuff, they probably buy.
Well, it's time to go ahead. Rod. It's time to go ahead and start putting in those $50,000 orders and getting several 53-foot tractor trailers in of inventory. It's about time to go ahead and bite the bullet, and take that risk, because that's what a way a lot of these guys will operate. These small companies,
investors, like
they want that liability. They don't want to order more than they're going to sell, so they don't want to order $50,000 of product and knowing that it's going to take 3 years to sell it. So they want to test the waters. It's time to stop doing that. Catch the Fever. It's time to get that inventory in and stop being out of stock. Those days are.
And my other thing with them, the only other thing, and a lot of people have requested this, and I would probably buy some of their rods if they would do this. make some fucking short rods. I don't. These 6.
There's definitely a market. There's a market for it.
Somebody screen record this.
The problem is though, is you got mad cats dipping into these OEMs. You got all these different brands. If you look on eBay, it's countless.
But what's that got to do with them getting a shorter rod?
I could easily start a new school brand with the same rods, and I could say, hey, new school rods, and I could market them, start making videos, selling them on eBay, selling them on Amazon, selling them out of my house. And it's eating into the OEM over there. It's eating into their ability to make enough inventory for everyone. And I think they're running into that as well. They're not able to get the inventory. It's not that they're willing to spend the money. They just can't get they can't make them fast enough.
I mean, I feel like, and I even did it with striper fishing. I can control a fish. I like a rod that I can control with my hands. Just like when we were doing the Hellcat video, I noticed one time when JR was fighting that fish, that rod's so long, when that fish went down, it went sideways. The rod actually went sideways with him because it's so fucking long. I don't know why they won't make a shorter rod.
That has a lot to do with it being parabolic.
2 months back, when I had them on my boat there, Dylan asked me, man, if there's one change you can make with these rods, what would it be? And that's exactly what I said. Shorter rods, dude.
Shorter rods.
I need a shorter rod for my downrigger rod. I need a shorter rod here.
But the thing is, though, guys, is you guys are such a small niche. You little saltwater guys that go out here and bottom fish and do all this little bullshit. You're such a small niche. They're not gonna. It's not worth the tooling. See, these OEMs, they have certain tooling. They're dolphing off these blanks. They got certain tooling. They're going to have to change their tooling. They're going to have to change their material. They're going to have. It's going to cost.
With that. I think it's a minimum cost.
The manufacturing is going to cost.
It's China
to make
I
6
think
foot
the
rods.
7. I think the 7.
Oh, but hey, don't.
They're going to have to actually stop. They're going to have to take a die out of a machine. They're going to have to create a die to put in them. What do you mean there's no cost? There's hundreds of thousands of dollars in cost.
Chop the ass end off the blank.
Dater. Don't disagree with JR. Don't disagree with JR when he's drunk.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Y'all can have the floor now.
So here's why I think that 7'6" is across the board for all the rod brands. They're trying to appeal to somebody on a boat and somebody on the bank.
On a bank.
Yeah.
And bank anglers, they can use that extra length. I think, I'm the same way. I've been telling, listen, I'm filming with Caleb next Wednesday. I'm going to tell him again, hey, dude, why don't we cut a foot off the ass end of one of these rods and call that something that's more of a boat rod? Because you don't need 7'6" on a boat. You just don't need it.
Why don't y'all give me? You're filming with him. Give old New School a call. Come on, let me have a cameo.
With that dang shirt taken off, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, give me a cameo. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, Peter.
Your damn Facebook page is going to be flagged tomorrow morning. You know that, right?
Whatever Caleb Page tells you, take it with a grain of salt, brother, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, well, I know.
I'll be asking the question, so I will get what I get. So
you need to bring me on. Let me ask some questions, because I have a feeling you're going to ask some very robotic, just run of the mill questions. We need some spice. We need something spicy. We need something comprehensive.
Ask him why he lied to me 3 times. Ask him that.
Why he lied to Wes?
Yeah,
I would find a way to word that question where it wouldn't, sound, because I want to be respectful, but yeah, I would get a lot more out of him than you are, Dieter. You better up your game, Dieter. It better not be just your typical run of the mill interview.
It has nothing to do with an interview. It's for something bigger than that.
Oh, so gosh, don't hit. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us right here on the Real Fisherman Show what it is?
I know.
I'll save it. I'll save it till it happens. You'll hear about it then.
Why are you saving? Why are you saving it though?
Who knows?
Why does it even matter?
I know, but I'm not going to say anything either.
Why wouldn't you guys say anything? Why wouldn't you guys say anything? I don't understand. Just tell me why you wouldn't even say anything.
Out of respect for the folks that want to.
There's stuff that's undecided and undefined. So you wait till you get those definitive things.
So you're not telling us what this this video is going to be about. It's obvious.
It's not one video.
You said
it's
it wasn't.
It's a lot of videos. I'll say.
Okay,
that.
so it's a lot of videos, but you don't want to go into what they're about. Why?
Because I don't know yet. I don't know what they're about yet. I mean, that's totally the honest answer right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
JR, have you noticed we get a lot more viewers when you're drinking?
Damn. I think it was shirtless. I think like when he took his shirt off, it went to like 36 and now it's back to 8.
And you know what, Mad Cats, they don't. They're second in line. I don't know if you guys know this, but there are probably, I would say, at least 100 different brands in the rod industry as far as the catfish niche is concerned.
You think so? That many?
Dieter, look on eBay. Just eBay. Just look on eBay at catfish rods. You can find them, man. You can get them for $25 a piece. Same exact rod. You want a Hellcat? Get one on eBay. Kevin down the road made a brand, and then guess what? He didn't know how to market it. He didn't want to put the money up front, so it tanked, and now he's stuck with a rod that says Kevin's Catfish on it or whatever.
Kevin, who? I didn't even hear about this one.
That was just an example, but they're all. I have one. I can actually go get you one. I can go get you a rod right now.
I've got an interesting question, JR. Pete,
yes.
You're doing the stropper still. JR, this is for you and Dieter.
Okay.
And I ain't trying to start no argument here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be two different opinions.
It wouldn't be the first damn argument me and Dieter's been in.
Okay, seriously, you got Hellcats there, right, Dieter? So you got a Hell. So just say you got a Catch the Fever rod and a Mad Cat's rod. Yep. And I know Mad Cats is big on the colors. They like fruity pebbles. You might get 12, 14 different fucking colors.
Absolutely.
But my question is, at the end of the day, if you take all the marketing, all the marks off of them, the lettering, what's the big difference in these rods?
I mean, that's like saying what's the difference?
No, one at a time.
Okay, let me go first. That's like saying what's the difference in a pair of Jordans.
Even though he asked me, he gets to go first.
A pair of Jordache. Pair of Jordans and a pair of Jordans. Who cares what the difference is? I don't care if they're exactly the fucking same.
The difference is. If I spend
Nobody cares. No, they don't. No, you're buying a brand. You are buying a brand. I don't know if you know this or not, Wes. You are buying a brand. The reason I got
your turn.
This shirt, this hat is a Richardson one. This hat is a Richardson 112. Okay, it's a Richardson 112. You see that?
Hey,
that's a Richardson 112.
I gave $65 for that hat. You ever heard of them? You ever heard of 47?
Yeah, 47. That's $59.50 is the flat bill. 47 is the relaxed bent bill hat. Yes, I know exactly what.
Totally different than that Hellcat bill. Right.
No, it's not. It's the exact same thing, and I'm trying to explain it to you if you'll listen. Okay, you see this hat? I'm wearing it because it says Hellcat on it. I'm Richardson 112. I could buy a gay pride hat with its Richardson 112 that has a gay pride sticker on it. But I don't want that hat, even though it's the exact same hat. I want this hat because it says Hellcat, because I like what that brand represents. That they have
you didn't answer the question.
I don't. Who cares if the product is the same? Who cares?
No, I didn't ask you. I said what? I said, is there any difference in those rods? What meaning? Not no. There again, JR. Listen to me, brother. Listen to me.
There's not. I'm not.
Take the stickers off.
I'm making perfect sense.
Okay. Dear, I'll ask you. You'll understand the question. There again, if you take the stickers off of them, all the colors, you just got the rods and the eyes, the blanks, and the handles. What's the difference in these rods?
The simple answer to that question is I can catch any catfish or any striper in the water anywhere with any of those rods. There is no difference in what their ability is to land the fish.
So the quality now, as far as Hellcat or as far as catch the fish, quality,
he's dodging the question like a Democrat.
To JR's point, the difference is, in all honesty, the emotional connection to a brand. Is there a physical difference? I mean, there may be little subtle differences in where they bend. I mean, you could it bends at this point, whatever.
That's exactly what I said. I may be drunk, but that's what I said.
Well, I'm saying, is the quality better? Is the quality in a Mad Cat's better than a?
It's the same. They're made from the same factory.
I don't think so. I think they're out of probably one of 3 factories in China. I mean, it's the emotional connection is what sells these. It's like Yeti is the master of it. Yeti Coolers is the master of building an emotional connection with the brand. Arctic, I don't know, hell, there's a dozen of them. have coolers that basically do the same thing. They just have not established that emotional connection with the customer out there. That Yeti did.
They got a pretty good base though. I've heard of Arctic, so they're doing
Yeah,
they're not doing too bad
Arctic's
on
one,
marketing.
but they're not Yeti. They don't have the wide range of stuff.
No, they're not Yeti. Just
Yeti
like Mad Cats ain't Catch the Fever. Amen.
But Mad Cats.
Can I get an amen on that?
Mad Cats has a very good niche in what they do. And honestly, that's why I asked you earlier in all seriousness, why you said they were trailer park is
they're hummingbird compared to low rants. I mean, I like Mad Cats. I'm glad we have Mad Cats.
Yeah. I think it's just, it's almost what, a better comparison is what was done with Ugly Stick and what's the bass angler? I talked to him at ICAST, the guy with the mullet.
The guy from South Carolina.
I don't know where he's from. I thought he was from Tennessee or Alabama or somewhere. Matt, is it Matt?
Not the pimp with a limp, not the famous guy from South Carolina.
No, he's a blonde-headed guy. He's a good bass fisherman. I mean, he's making money. Anyway, Matt Robertson, I think it's his name.
Okay.
He's kind of he literally lives in a single wide trailer. I mean, and they play that up at Ugly Stick that he lives in a single wide trailer and he's a pro bass fisherman.
Right. Yeah.
And he's fishing out of a crappy boat and he's winning money.
Amen.
And they sell
That's
that.
what people want.
That. They build that brand around that. And,
absolutely.
I don't know if Mad Cats is trying to do that. I don't follow their brand.
I think that they're kind of defaulting to that. I mean, because Catch the Fever is doing such a good job of marketing, and they're doing such a good job. They're kind of more of a, and I've gotten on to Caleb for this. Is they, it's okay to be. No, actually, I changed my mind. It's not. Leave politics out of it. And Catch the Fever they've gotten a little political couple of times here and there, and I don't like that. Like Dolly Parton. Everybody loves Dolly Parton. Muslims love Dolly Parton. Mormons love Dolly Parton. Jehovah's Witnesses love Dolly Parton. Christians, Roman Catholics, you name it. Everybody loves Dolly Parton because she never got political.
Boobies.
Everybody knows that she's more than likely conservative, but nobody knows for sure because she kept her fucking mouth shut. And I think that's what Catch the Fever should do. And there's been several times Caleb has gotten political on Facebook, and I've messaged him like, "Hey bud, delete that." And he's like, "What? I don't see anything wrong with it." And I'm like, "Caleb, please delete it." And he's listened to me. He'll delete it because he knows I'm right. Don't get political. Never get political. I mean, it's okay. I get it. You're in a niche to where 99.9% of your customer base are, Trump supporting, far right, conservative, redneck, you name it. That's what they are. But you can get by with catering to that demographic without actually coming out and saying, "Hey, Trump 2024, the South will rise again." Everything that's going to scare a lot of people away from your brand, and it might give you instant success, short-term success, but in the long run, if you're looking at a global market, it's going to hurt you. So keep your mouth shut.
No, I agree with that. I'm not a good example of that, but I agree with that. 100%.
I think you're a great example of that. I think that you, as far as the catfish industry, content creators in the catfish industry, you are pretty much down the center. I mean, you can obviously, that you definitely lean right, but you're more down the center than anyone else is. Anyone else is they're far right people. That's just the way it is. But that's one thing I admire about you is that you don't pander. You tell the truth. You're not going to pander to the right. You're not going to pander to the left. You're going to just say it the way it is. And if somebody's an idiot, you're going to tell them they're an idiot. And it's just the way that's the way it is. And I like that.
Well, thank you. Pete, are you selling that painting above your head, or thank you? There we go. There we go. That's better. I got to work on y'all's headroom on these shots.
Any price, man, would take it. Fucking there. Oh wait, no, children friendly. Can't cuss.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody Catch the Fever's promoting.
Who said that?
In the videos.
JR did.
I've already said motherfucker like 3 times already.
No, that's
How
the
is
first
that
time.
child friendly? No, it's not.
Not
What,
once.
Peter, tell Peter that I've already said MFer like twice.
Oh, he has. Yeah. He's
Well, I tried to tell JR before we went out on that trip. Tony, I don't understand. Tony sent the rods wanting to do a shark video. So we made a special trip actually to do a video with that rod, and they still hadn't put it up. I mean, but there again, I don't care. I don't buy their shit no more. I don't care what they do. I like Tony Caton. Tony Caton's never lied to me. He's always been a man of his word. I just don't use.
And this is why they didn't share our video. right here.
Well, why did we do it? Why did we do it?
Because we're men of our word. You told Tony, you was like, hey, send us a Hellcat rod. We'll catch a big tiger shark on it. We'll do you a video. So that we had some issues. The giant tiger shark didn't work out. So we went and we made another video with the Hellcat rod. We kept our end of the deal. We were men of our word, and we kept our end of the deal.
Hey, let me ask you a question while you're on here. When they did your video, why did they video? I mean, not knocking your video because I know it wasn't you, but why didn't they video of y'all actually fighting the fish with a striper stealth rod? All he says is he's holding up the shark. We're on Bolo Charter.
Is there more? Is there more? Was that it, Peter? Or
there's a lot more, trust me, but I think they just take what's like the best part of it of all things. There was video taken of the actual.
Oh, wait a second. That's right. They filmed something with you. Where is that posted at? I have not seen that.
It was like a 10-second video of them releasing a bonnethead shark. Just a little promo.
It's not a bonnethead, actually. It's a smooth hammerhead. Google that. Google what a fucking bonnethead looks like.
Dieter, they did the man wrong. They should have been a much more comprehensive video. They should have mic'd Peter up. They should have got Peter's knowledge. They should have had a story. But they didn't. They failed.
Who knows? There may be some other camera people doing that in the future. They do a much better job.
Dieter, it's like this,
Dieter, me and you see it, but me and you are the best video creators in the industry. Period.
Dieter, hey,
we are.
I'll be clear cut.
I get it. Dieter's way bigger than I am. I got a couple thousand subscribers. I never really took it seriously. Dieter's taking it serious. I'm just saying, if I would look from the outside looking in, I would rather watch mine and Dieter's videos because they're stories. People can tell that we're passionate about what we do, and we're good at it. Not only are we passionate about it, but we're good at it.
JR, I show you the message. JR, Michael Hanks sent me a message last night. I meant to tell you in Messenger with the video where you did the Bud Light bottle where you stuck it in halfway in your mouth.
That was just me showing how easy it is to make a viral video.
And that video has been viewed 58,000 times.
Yeah, I mean the video that I posted on it's already been viewed 8 million. I got 8 million views on that just on TikTok, not counting the couple of million I got on YouTube. It's so easy to make I give a shit about being viral. I don't care about being famous, and all I know is I make a video from the heart, and I know that there's a handful of people that actually enjoy them. Yeah. And Dieter has that same thing that I got, whatever that is, whatever we have. Not many people have that. And Dieter has that, and I have that. I love watching content made from people that actually have that. There's just
y'all love what you do. Y'all love what you do, and when you love doing something, it comes a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, we love everything about like what we're filming, the story, what we're trying to convey. We are trying to make you see what we see and see it how we see it. And it's damn near impossible to do, but we try it. We try to do it, and that's what makes it so beautiful. That's what I mean. It's extremely artistic.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Going back, Dieter. So we plan our trip about 3 weeks in advance, maybe 4 weeks in advance, and go figure. The 2 days we're fishing is blowing 20, 25, gusts of 30. So the video was limited for what we actually had. But that was the best of what we had for that 2 days of fishing.
Yeah. Trust me, I bet better than anybody in this business. Yep. Dieter doesn't know how to hold the fish.
I made a video about this. You do not know how to hold a fish, Dieter.
Damn.
You're one of the worst fish holders. How do you not know how to hold a fish? You've been, I mean this is pretty much verbatim the video that I made.
I try to hold them and they just fall out of my hands into the floor all the time.
No,
you
have giant hands. You have these giant hands, and you like I don't know what you do, but you're like standing.
If you're ever on the boat, I actually got a new way to do it on the line. But if you're ever on the skiff and I show you how it's done out of necessity. It's actually funny when you'll laugh. You'll go, "Oh, you're really not long arming them." And like, no, it's all perspective. People's mind tells them something.
These
haters, man.
Listen, Boomer, you're being lazy. Dieter, is what you're doing. You're being lazy with those pictures. You stop being lazy. Set a timer. Put your camera on portrait mode. Set it on a timer and put it on a holder, a magic arm holder, and get it up eye level. And hit the button, and it'll count down from 10, 15, whatever you want it to do, and get that bad boy ready and smile, and boom, get a good picture. This whole whatever it is you're doing is not it, bud.
It's fooled your mind, because if you look right there on the phone, you'll see that little app called Self Timer that just described everything that you just described right there.
Okay,
so,
well,
again, I think it's fooling your mind, and that frustrates the hell out of people when their mind starts to get fooled and their eyes are seeing something different.
You're showing the sky. I don't know what you're putting the camera in the floor of the boat. You're showing the sky.
What annoys people is they can't see the background in the picture. And
yes,
I think that
annoys me.
The
Stop
hell
doing
out of
that.
people.
Like, why not show the background?
See where you're fishing. And
oh my God, I don't want to see where you're fishing.
Then why do you care about the background so much?
Because the background makes a good picture. Tell Bob Ross. Tell Bob Ross to paint a picture without a fucking background. Tell Bob Ross to paint a barn with a fence. With horses,
limbs, and
without
a
background.
In the background, it does nothing but distract from what's in the image. That is where you're aesthetically 100% wrong. I think people want to see the background, but so they can try to triangulate where the hell I'm fishing at. I think that's what it is.
You're catching. You're not catching trophies. Nobody cares.
That right there.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People want to catch fish, and
you're a scientific guy. You like doing all these demon dragon versus rattler.
Goes to show that JR
try it.
Facebook fisherman, because
try it. Take the picture with the background. Go out there and see if there's a bunch of people there.
Hey guys, I'm gonna show you. Hey,
I never realized it was about the background. That's funny.
Y'all hold on a minute. I'm gonna show y'all a picture. This is the coolest picture I've ever took in my life. No shit. I hope y'all can see it. Let me get this comment off here. All right, let's see if I can get this up here.
Oh, is that Copper with your granddaughter?
It is.
Oh,
that was Saturday morning at 8:00. I went in there. I was going there to check on them.
That is so sweet.
That's the coolest picture I've ever took in my life. He was hugged up to her. Man. He was hugged up to her, and he was snoring like hell right in her ear, and she never woke up.
Hey, Scott Perry, put in the comments, how wide is your swimming pool? I know it's a weird question, but I'm wanting to get an above ground pool. And
I would say it's probably 15 foot wide.
Scott's trying to get you to cuss.
I think it's bigger. I think it's way bigger than that.
Dieter, Scott,
I've swam in it, bud. I've swam in it, bud.
Dieter, do me a favor. Say motherfucker, so Scott will be happy.
Just pretend like you're calling me one, Dieter.
I will save it for something that deserves it. So Scott's never heard me cuss before. He's never heard me cuss before. Wow.
I don't believe you'll say it.
Scott doesn't watch my content, so
he'll definitely say it. No, you don't cuss in your content. Shut up.
I really don't. Honestly, I don't. And
no, you don't. You're running a business, brother.
Backtrack.
You're absolutely right about that.
House. Okay.
You think James Long is going to cuss at the what is that? The garage door business down there he's got?
Yeah, I
No.
don't
No.
know what he does, but yeah, no, I got way too many kids watching my stuff, and there's enough assholes out there. If they want to see that, they can go watch Catfish Dave do what he
That's
does.
right. Yeah, go watch Andrew.
I try
Dice
to
Clay or
represent a
something.
different little brand, so that's just me. If
But
you want to
hey,
see some
they ain't
custom, go watch some
them
other
kids
videos.
ain't watching. Them
They
kids
are.
ain't watching Real Fisherman, brother. So you good.
Yeah, there's enough of that out there.
Yeah, their parents are like, wait a minute, that has J.R. Cochran in it? No.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I had a guy message me about 5 or 6 years ago, and a buddy of mine was holding up a fish, and I had a cigarette. I was smoking a cigarette. You can see my cigarette in the background, and he sent me a message. He said, "What message do you think this is sending to our children?" I didn't have a clue what he was talking about, and I messaged him back, and I put, "WTF are you talking about?" And he said, "You're holding a cigarette in the background." And I'm like, "Really, dude? You messaged me to tell me that I'm giving these kids a bad image?" Because I said, "Get the fuck off my page, man." I son of a bitch, him and his mama and his great grandmama and anybody else in his family I could think of, and told him his fucking kids look like Chihuahua dogs, and he finally blocked me.
This is where you guys go wrong, because
That's Wes.
I don't add just anyone on my Facebook. Like, I can't tell you. Like, recently, I got 130 some odd friend requests right now. and
That's a
most of those
mistake.
guys-
That's a
Oh,
mistake I
Dieter,
made when I started my channel. Was that?
Dieter,
Go ahead, JR. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
you know you got 5,000 friends on your Facebook. What you talking about?
All right, let me finish what I was saying. That was a mistake I made when I started my YouTube channel, was thinking that adding Facebook friends was a good idea. And I have slowly tried to get rid of them over the past 4 or 5 years, because that is
Why?
something, that is advice I would give to anybody, is keep that world separate from what you do in your business world. And I would definitely weed them out. Honestly, there's some people I like, halfway don't like. I try to get rid of them every time there's election. And I try to piss people off, and some of them will go away. I had 110 friend requests today. So I mean, it's but you definitely smart about that.
I just checked 138 friend requests. Most of those guys are actually holding a catfish in the photo. Just you know.
And listen, I used to base it on that, and if they had a deer head in the picture, and still, you're better off if you don't know who they are. Yeah. That's what I got a fishing page for. They want to follow me on there. That's great.
But Dieter, you are, after all, you are like very, very tight friends with Bill Ward, right?
No, Bill and I are not as tight as we used to be, and I regret that, because I think Bill's a good guy. I think he's a good fisherman, and I would love to share and spend more time with him.
Did Bill block you?
But Bill doesn't necessarily like my political beliefs.
Did Bill block you? I mean, he's friends with thousands of people that are way more far right than you are.
Yeah. He doesn't like that. I like Bill. I like Bill as a person.
I like Bill too. Yeah. And I don't agree with his politics. He's very raunchy on that side. He's just as bad as some of the far right guys.
So let me tell my Bill Ward story. Okay. This is cute. Okay. I've told this before, and I'll tell it to him. It's not offensive to him. I was up at the Ice Bowl. Maybe the first year I went. And I was sitting there at the parking lot, parked my truck, and I look over, and there is this like car there with all these bumper stickers across the back of it. And I always jokingly say most people, 94.7% of the people with bumper stickers on the backs of the car covering it up are liberal. And it's like Bernie.
Oh, hippies, Subaru drivers.
Yeah. And I was like, why in God's name is somebody with all these liberal bumper stickers at the Ice Bowl catfish tournament? About that time, I hear behind me, "Hey, Dieter, how you doing?" And I said, "Oh, hi, Bill. How you doing?" Like, he unlocks the car and gets into it. I was like, that explains.
Well, Bill has fished with you.
He has.
I watched a video that's like 15 years old.
Yeah, I've worked with Bill.
I think it was on your old channel.
I've worked with Bill in the video production world, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
And now he also knows Mac pretty well too, right?
You know, he actually lives on the same road that Mac does. I think he's on that same street up there. And he's
I have heard that.
Now, what were their nicknames?
Totally avoids Bill at all costs.
Who is Bill Ward? I've never heard of it. I've never heard of Bill Ward. Who is he?
Bill Ward is like a 75-year-old.
He's not that old. He is not that old. He is not that old. It's just a gray beard that looks that way.
He's a cat fisherman. He's a great guy, but he is just as liberal as most of you guys are
He's
on the
redneck.
right side.
Wes, he is as
that
far
far on the
liberal
left
as
side.
liberal can
But
come.
I'll be honest with you. Bill is very smart in that you
Yes.
really you kind of got to get to know him. Before
Most
you
liberals
realize
are
it.
very smart.
Yeah, and his honestly his daughter, she's brilliantly smart, and I'm talking stupid smart to the point of going like full scholarship to Duke University, and she's got some big 6-figure job up in Washington as a
My
one of
grandfather
those
once
think
told me, he
tank
said,
kind of
son,
people. So
the more education you get, the more chance you're going to be liberal and you're going to be atheist. The
that I
smarter
do
you
agree
become,
with. That I
the
do
far-
agree.
the
I would
more-
agree with the man
so
that said that.
that has stuck with me my
I
whole
agree
life.
with
I've got a question. Why is it that you see, and I don't know the specific numbers, they did a poll on this, is why do your liberals wear a goddamn mask in their cars during COVID? I mean, seriously, they do. You look at like deer, just like you said, you see these cars going down the road where this says, I love this, I love that, don't do this, don't do that. If you can
Those
read
are-
the bumper sticker, you're
for the most
and they're
part,
wearing a mask in their car.
for the most part, you know, like the West Virginia dumb toothless rednecks that have the rebel flag and the Trump flag in their yards that are just
That's
super
right.
duper low red.
That's my boy.
That's the liberal version.
That's the
that.
converse to that. No, he's right
That's
about that.
That's the
And-
liberal version of that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's just. I mean, trust me, rednecks, right wing, whatever you want to call them, have their equivalent, like JR said, of
Yeah.
that, and it's just the way it is. It doesn't make anybody super bad
Yeah.
or anything else. It's
But I
just
mean,
the
if you
way
wanna
you
wear a
are.
mask,
by
I
yourself.
think a lot of people are ashamed of their nose. They have like a big nose, or they got a bunch
Like
of
me.
warts on their nose,
Like me.
or they got bad teeth, and that's you see a lot of people, believe it or not, wearing the mask because of that. They want to pretend like it's because they're, being worried about allergies.
I didn't know
or
where
corona.
you were going with the big nose thing. I thought you were gonna like focus on me. Really? You think
No,
that's
I
the
mean,
reason people wear a mask?
I have a big nose, but I mean, there's some people that are just, they're ashamed of their body. They're ashamed of their mouth, their
I've never
teeth, their
heard that
smile,
one.
their nose. So they cover it.
JR-ism. That's a JR-ism.
It's not a JR-ism. That's
So,
everybody.
obviously,
That's common sense-ism.
Bill
hell.
Ward, if you're watching, I love you. Shoot me a text message. Let's
Yeah,
go
we
fishing.
all love you. He went fishing with Spivey went fishing with him 2 weeks
Did he
ago.
really?
Peter. Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
went down to Norman and got on that suspended blue catfish bite down on Norman.
Cut off
Very
a couple
cool.
planter boards while they were trolling, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Spivey, and I doubt Bill Ward or Spivey, either one will watch this, so I'll go ahead and say it. But Spivey called me and he's like, man, and Spivey is the type. Let me go ahead and preface this by saying Spivey's the type that thinks everyone else knows more than we do. Like he thinks that literally everyone else knows more than we do. And he's a grass is greener kind of guy. And I try to tell him, I'm like, dude,
Really? I would think the opposite. I
No,
thought he
he's
would
like
think
that, and
knows
he
more than everybody.
he thought
else.
Bill Ward was just a god, and so he went fishing with Bill. And he called me. He's like, dude, I'm just as good as Bill. Like he
Is that
doesn't,
Bill Ward?
he doesn't really.
Yes. Yeah.
dude, he doesn't
I
know
think
any more
that's-
than
I
we
can't
do.
see it.
And I'm
Yes,
like,
that's
of
Bill.
course he doesn't. Like, when are you going to learn that, dude? Like, you're a good fisherman. You know just as much as anyone else around here.
Hey,
Did-
I guess he is a cocksucker. He's only got 22 friends.
Did Bill Ward get his captain's license, Pete?
No.
Okay.
He must really be a cocksucker. 22.
No, 22
That's
mutual
friends, cocksucker.
mutual friends.
Oh.
That means you got 22
Hey.
cocksuckers that are on your friends list.
No, he ain't on my friends list.
I don't think you would like Bill, Wes.
No, Bill wouldn't like me.
Yeah, it'd be a mutual.
Trust me, he is very vocal and he is always right no matter what.
Very smart guy.
I'll
He is
say
an
that.
intelligent
smart.
man.
He is
He's a very
extremely
intelligent man.
intelligent, yes.
Oh, he's got all kind of political shit on his page.
Look at
No,
it.
he wouldn't like me at all. I'd have this motherfucker want to commit suicide.
Oh, Bill. How old is Bill, Dieter? I thought he was in his 70s.
I I think Bill's 60-ish, 50, late 50-ish, 60-ish, somewhere in there.
There is no way. That dude's at least 70.
He's not.
Shit, that motherfucker. He's old. He's
Dieter,
old.
I'll bet you $20, Dieter. I'll bet you $20. Bill Ward's at least 70.
Okay, deal. I'll take that.
Hey, he was. It says born July the 5th. It don't have a year though, so his motherfucker's old.
Yeah. Let me hang on a second. Let me text Spivey. Say, hey, text Bill Ward for me right quick.
Hang on, let me hit the cooler.
Hey, if he's a liberal, he's probably in the bed at 10 o'clock. I'm gonna message him right quick. Are you a liberal?
No, don't do that. Be nice to Bill. You're Gen X, dude. He's a boomer. So have some respect.
I do think he's boomer category.
What is that?
He was born before 64.
Well, why should I have respect for him? Because he's old as my mama.
Because it's a different generation. You always have respect for the generation before you. Always.
Well, y'all said he's
That's
a
why I give you guys a hard time. Like Dieter, even though you and Dieter are in your 50s, you're still Gen X. So even though I'm like more than a decade younger than y'all, I'm like, fuck you. You're same generation as me, damn it. You're not getting no generational respect from me, damn it. You're not just gonna get respect just because you're older. I don't play that bullshit.
Well, then I can't be disrespectful to him, man. Hell, he's older.
No, I'm just saying that someone
really.
that's more than a generation older than you, they get a longer leash.
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Well, West, Scott asked a good question. Get Bill on the show right now. Do it. Come on. That'll be a shit show. Don't do it. It'll be a complete shit show.
Yeah,
Scott, answer your question, by the way. He is from, this will answer everything you know right here. He is from, I believe, Washington State or Oregon, somewhere thereabouts. So, yeah, there you go.
Hey, I got a question for y'all, Pete. Maybe for you. I don't know if Dieter would probably know, but have you heard of anybody saying that they've used LiveScope in salt water, and does it work in salt water? Is the salinity different?
I've not heard anything from salt water.
No clue.
Damn, y'all ain't worth a shit.
Yep.
Dieter's still working with a Gen 1 HDS, and Peter's got LiveScope, but it ain't ever gonna see salt water.
Yeah, right.
Are you gonna put that graph on your saltwater boat?
Nah.
What?
Nah.
Why?
No reason to.
What? Just buy another transducer and just
I have no reason to.
Those transducers are high as camel pussy.
So Pete, do you have two boats now?
Yeah. I've had two boats for a long time.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is the one that had both of them wrapped in bolo? I see some pictures.
So the offshore boat just has lettering. That's it.
The offshore boat looks better, looks cleaner. The freshwater bolo,
the bay boat has a wrap.
Yeah, it's a little much.
It depends. Depends
he needs to go with the bolo wrap that he has on his saltwater boat. That's what he needs to go with on his freshwater boat.
Some folks feel like my bay boat is pretty badass. But,
okay,
liberal, so
how cool are those folks?
He's jealous.
They ain't this cool, brother.
Hey, I've had a couple of bolos on me before.
Yeah.
Really?
Wes, that is the one thing I look forward about when I get to fish with you alone sometime. When the cameras are off, I want to hear the backstory. That's all I can say. I want to hear the backstory. I'm seeing
I want to hear the backstories when the cameras are on.
I'm seeing for Bill Ward as a age range, I'm seeing 60s, but I'm also seeing one, I don't know if the number's the same, as a 70s. So $20.
Oh my goodness. Are you using your journalistic outreach to try to?
No, it's called Google. Google is what it's called.
Okay. That's how I looked up Pete.
Oh, there it is. You owe me $20.
No way.
How old is he?
You said his birthday was July 5th?
That's what Facebook said.
1957.
I'm not good with math.
1957.
I've got his address and everything, which I won't say on here. Yeah.
It's 66.
66. That's 66.
Yeah.
You can confirm it, but
That's
yeah,
2023 minus 1957
It's
is
66.
I prefer all
66.
ones for the ice machine. It helps. So thank you. Thank you.
You too,
Gator,
huh?
you can suck my dick. You ain't getting shit. No, I'm just kidding.
I was
man.
asked recently.
Send me your Cash App. I'll send it.
He's gonna cash at me, buddy. You sound
Hey,
like
hey,
my
Gator.
tips. Oh my God.
What are you going to do? Like drive it to your house?
I got a question for all three of y'all. JR, we'll
boy.
start with you because you're going to want to go first anyway. No, this is a serious
Of
question.
course, right?
What, and just a simple answer so we get around to everybody.
Okay.
What's your favorite part about fishing?
My favorite part?
Yeah, favorite part about fishing?
Oh, golly, man, that's a loaded question, dude. That is a loaded question. I gotta pass, bro. I'm gonna pass that to Dieter.
Oh, it's funny because I've been working on this on my 4-hour drive yesterday and before, and I don't know the exact way to articulate it, and I'm working on that. But it comes down to this: it's the fantasy. It's the fantasy in our minds that we create of fishing. I know this sounds stupid, but when you really back up and you think about it, it's oh Jesus Christ, what is he doing?
You can't stand up straight, Jack Wagon.
I thought he was doing something on purpose, but it may have been accidental. But no, it is just like it's that anticipation of what we're doing. It's that thing we create in our mind, and I don't really know how to articulate it because I want to put it into a video. But it is this like idealistic fantasy that we create in our head of what a fishing trip is going to be. It's, I ain't going to sit here and go, oh, I love catching fish. I love seeing rods spin. I love seeing little kids catch fish. That's all cool. But there's something idealistic that we have created in our heads. And that is what the attraction is to it. And if you don't do it, you don't get it, is what it comes down to. And it's that anticipation of what's going to happen, that hope of what's going to happen. It's all of that. But yeah, it's this little idealistic fantasy that we create in our head. And that's what I like about it. It's like if I was going to go out with you, Wes, I would create this little idea in my head of how it was going to unfold. If I was going to go with Pete down to the deep water to catch suspended fish on Friday, I would create this little fantasy in my head of the way it was going to unfold and what it was going to be. It never is that, but the memory that we have of whatever that trip becomes is what builds for what we're going to have on the next one. So I know that.
Dieter.
That's why I wish
Here he comes. He wants to fucking interrupt you already.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am an interrupter. And I'm under the firm belief that if you're saying something that's important enough to not be interrupted, then you will not allow the interruption. That's the motto I go by. So if I interrupt you and you allow me to interrupt you, then what you were saying was bullshit anyways. You were willing to let me interrupt.
Make sure that they get over what they're saying.
If you're trying to convey something,
let's get back to the question. Pete, what's your favorite part of fishing?
My favorite thing about fishing is putting the puzzle together. Striper fishing is what I enjoy.
I like it.
So I'll give you perfect examples. Cherokee.
Say it again, Pete. There was some talking over you. What? Give me that one.
Everyone heard putting the puzzle together. Everybody heard it.
Putting the puzzle together.
Putting the puzzle together.
I was just adding to it. I just said I like it.
So you go to a new body of water like Lake Cherokee back in April, and then what's that lake you live nearby there, Wes? What's it called? Hartwell. Yeah. So Hartwell, perfect example. Also back in January, going to a brand spanking new lake and just putting the puzzle pieces together each and every trip.
I like it.
That's my favorite part right there. Just eliminating stuff and finally putting something together to where you catch fish towards, I guess we'll call it the end of the day.
I like it.
I'll tell you, my favorite part is, hey, baby.
Let's get JR involved here because
my favorite part.
Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead.
My favorite part is fishing with friends. I like, hanging out with my friends, cutting up, talking shit. Looking forward, just like, our last trip. I look forward to meeting JR down there. Scott Perry came with us. I look, and I was thinking, boy, this is going to be a great trip. How it's going to be when we get out there. But and even in Tennessee, just my friends, people I've met, just being with my friends and hanging out, having a good time. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to catch fish every time you go fishing. I've learned that. But I learned how to have a good time when I'm not catching fish. So, a lot of people say, well, I wasted this. You wasted a lot of money on. I didn't waste shit. Because I'm going to have a good time when I'm fishing. I don't care if I'm catching fish or not. So I guess I'd say mine is hanging out with my friends and being with people, you're cool with. So
y'all keep on, because I'm going to pull a Dieter, and I'm looking for a link. I'm surprised Dieter didn't try to hit y'all with a link.
You ain't going to read some shit, are you?
No, I'm trying to find a link to a video of
don't
why.
Say no. I'm not linking nothing.
Of why I fish.
Gosh.
Yeah, I have a link.
You're trying to pull up my video of why I fish? Just go get the Melton Hill Bill video so Scott Perry can stand up and start throwing stuff
nobody
across the
wants
room.
to watch
That would
the
really
Melton
get it
Hill
going.
video.
Oh, wait a minute. Why? What Melton Hill Bill do to make Scott mad? Because it's hard to make Scott Perry mad.
Anything, if I do any video with Billy, Scott Perry will blow up.
Hey, Wes, give me Scott Perry's address, and I will run through his yard with some gasoline and a Roundup. That'll make him mad.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
He thinks a lot of that grass.
Apparently so, yeah. That he does.
If you've seen my grass, I cut my grass when I can't see my dog go outside and pee. That's when I cut my grass.
Amen. God bless
I don't
America.
give a fuck about no grass. All I know is I hate it. And I damn sure spend no more money on it.
As long as my lawn is green and the same level, I really don't care what's growing in it. So it can be.
See, a lot of people like Perry. Perry's spending hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on his grass to get it to grow. I spend $100 to get my shit not to grow because I don't like it.
Damn right.
Oh, yeah.
Damn right.
Go figure.
Yep.
Did you find it, Junior?
I'm still looking. Yeah, help me out.
I don't even know what to look for.
I don't either.
I don't know what he's looking for either.
It's a YouTube video.
So why do you like fishing, JR? Come on, you didn't answer that question. You're damn
I'm looking for a link to show you why.
Fishing right now. Come on.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Pete, are you doing any trips right now? I am on hold for a little bit, just taking a break. I actually might do a LiveScope trip next week. It's just one of my regulars, I guess. But otherwise, no, I'm not going to get serious with trips until October. So I do have a saltwater charter booked for the last Monday of August, and then I will have a bunch already booked up for October.
Hey, well, why JR's looking for this? We'll play this one right here. Let's see.
I don't.
Oh, dear God. I saw that somehow. I thought I was on like some gay porn site.
I know, right? I was waiting for the handhold, honestly.
You got to think this is 80 proof. That's 100.
That's $20 for a fucking half a gallon.
That's $20.
No, half a gallon. That was 13.
Yeah, it's only 20 something dollars.
The JR don't have his shirt on either.
These motherfuckers. We're laying
JR had that ready for a mop rag.
Don't cover up now, JR.
Cover it up, buddy.
That's good. It's hot.
Better.
It's hot.
It's 100 proof.
It's hot.
It's not hot.
This is not sipping whiskey.
Is it still hot?
It's hot
It's
whiskey.
not still hot. Is it?
That's hot whiskey. This is smooth.
Then wait till this is Facebook. Oh my God.
Let me try it.
Yeah. I think the McKenna's definitely better. Well, it's easier on the palate.
It's as
Speeder.
smooth.
It's not as hot.
Yeah. So you admit that this is a better sipping whiskey?
This is 100 proof.
Oh yeah, man, it's good. Man, it's
All right, turn it off. Me and Dee are trying to talk here.
That's good stuff,
Watch
Peter.
Watch it.
It's good stuff, but man,
swearing him.
100 proof versus 80 proof.
He was trying to get JR drunk.
So as far as trips booked, yeah, that's it there. I have one in August, one maybe next week, and a bunch in October coming up for saltwater.
So how comfortable are you with LiveScope? Are you still figuring it out, learning it?
I'm still figuring it out a little bit, but I'm pretty comfortable enough to run some trips with it now. Yes. Do I want to blast out a bunch of advertising? So do I want to?
Let me know when you're ready to film a video with it, with some basic stuff, not advanced shit. But I would like to do something just to show people what exactly this stuff does. Just let me know.
You want to come pre-fish with me a big tournament coming up here soon, and that'll be a good video shoot as far as maybe what I'm looking for.
When is it?
I'll tell you the days I will be fishing. Hold on one sec. It'll be September, by the way. The 20th and we'll say 21st, 22nd.
September, right?
Yep.
21st is probably doable unless I go out of town on the 22nd for some college football. So let's stay in touch on that.
I could probably do the 20th as well. So whichever, and there'll be.
What's your favorite college team, Dieter?
What's that?
Who you pull for in college?
Whichever one is within about a 3-hour driving distance of where I live, so I can go film them this weekend instead of driving to freaking Virginia, which is 4.5 hours away, which we had to do this weekend. So that's the one I love. I honestly, in all seriousness, really don't have one. Clemson was kind of my favorite just because I made so much money off of them for so many years when they were kind of riding the wave. And yeah, I really don't care. I'm not a big like, oh God, this is my school, because honestly, I didn't go to any of the universities, so it's kind of silly to get too much into it. We're going to drink and catch saltwater turds where everything is hungry and easy.
That ain't what your shoulder said, Scott.
In, like speaking in parables there or something. What does that mean?
He's drunk like JR.
Yeah, he's lit.
And he won't come on.
All right, I can't find it. I'm gonna go to Dieter's. I'm gonna default to Dieter's.
Jesus, so he needs a video to answer this question.
Dieter Melhorn, why?
Here's me a brand deal for my channel.
Fish.
YesCo is a car factory, and we produce a lot of videos about cars. We would love to speak with you about a collaboration. Delete. Okay, sorry.
You're right, Scott. You're right. It's been a good show while JR, not there.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
So, Dieter, I do really want to shoot a watery video with you, but I feel like this fall, winter may not happen very well because of them pulling that water down.
Dieter, what do I look up to that why I fish or whatever?
Look at him.
Dude, I don't honestly don't know if there's still a link to it because I changed some of the promotional stuff around this on the channel. So it's unlisted, most likely to be.
Oh my
honest.
God.
That's the one you're looking for.
Well, make it listed. Why would you make it unlisted?
Because it's not a really usable
video. Here I am looking for it, and it's unlisted. So obviously, it's a usable video.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ! Sorry. How many videos do you have that's unlisted?
A lot.
Anyways.
So you think that watery is going to be tough to fish because of the drawdown? And I thought it might get good because there's not a bunch of people up there killing every damn fish because you can't put it in that watery access anymore and have a quick trip up there.
They've been wearing them out this summer because of low water from what I've been seeing. But, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I have not researched it, but I don't think they stocked watery this most recent year either. So I don't know how.
I'll ask about that.
Yeah, ask about that. But regardless, I'm going to make some trips out there for sure. But I just don't think it's going to be as fire as it has been the last couple of years.
That'll be interesting.
We'll try. We can go to Norman. We can try Norman. That's my stopping ground, so I can always figure something out like Norman.
Dude, I just want to go film stuff, and if we can do it in a way that doesn't blow up any places that you're fishing, I think it'd be cool because
Oh my
one,
God, he don't
it will
care
get
about
you some
blowing up
promotion for what you're
places.
doing, and for me, it's honestly Lake Norman is like that content. People just gobble that crap up. So yeah, that'll be good.
Oh my gosh,
Whichever.
Dieter, you think he's gonna choose you over me?
Absolutely, yes.
No, he's not.
Don't make me answer that.
Hey, remember, Dieter actually fished tournament with me one time, not JR. So
I
you know.
did.
And we actually did pretty decent, right? It was
Yeah,
one strike bass
but
challenge. We finished
you're a
like
co-host of
two
Real
years.
Fisherman Show, so I mean, I don't know what you think you're doing over there.
Well, I'm looking at a different direction in 2024 with the channel, so I think your stuff may fit in good to it. So,
Who's stuff?
huh? What?
Who stuff?
Not a cornhole player. Not a
All
cornhole
of a sudden, he's listening to me.
I
Wow,
know, right?
that's pretty
Well,
impressive.
I've been
Like,
spending the last 20 minutes trying to find your video that you said was unlisted. Finally, once
Not
I
a
told you about it.
cornhole player.
let me see if I can find this thing. This is
North Carolina fishing doesn't suck, Scott.
Yeah, it does.
You're just spoiled. You guys are just spoiled. Who's texting? Who's doing all the texting?
that's me.
What
I'm
are you
actually
texting?
typing in some stuff. I'll
What
put
are
it
you
on.
What are you typing in? What do you need to know? I can tell you. Just you don't have to Google. Just
Obviously,
ask
you
JR.
can't because on this
Ask J.
video.
You remember that old? Ask Jeeves? Just ask JR.
I do remember Ash Jeeves, yeah.
Yeah, just ask JR. I'll tell you. What do you need to know?
Shit, it doesn't show up, dude. I got to dig that thing up. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I wanted to show the why I fished Dieter Melhorn video.
Did you like
20
that?
minutes.
Did you like that video?
I loved it. Yes.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. Thank you. That's nice.
Not that it matters what I think.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. No, it just got kind of old because
Dieter, who is your biggest original fan?
My wife. I don't know. No,
Not your wife. No.
I'll answer that for Dieter. I'll answer it. I know who it is.
It's me.
Mac. It's Mac. It's Mac.
No, it's not
It's
Mac.
Mac.
I love Mac.
Mac was creating content along with Dieter. I'm talking about a fan. I'm not talking about his buddy. I'm talking about a fan. I was the original Dieter fan. None of my friends liked Dieter. None of them. Ryan Spivey hated Dieter. Keith,
why did Ryan Spivey?
They all my friends hated you. They don't know, but
why?
You know why they hated you? Because they looked up to me and I looked up to you. That's why they.
That's not the reason. That's not the reason. I love
that
hearing
is
why
the reason.
people hate me. Why did they hate me?
That is the reason. I just told you the reason. They looked up to me and I looked up to you. That's why they fucking hated you. I don't know. Take that however you want, but that's the truth. I'm not lying to you. I'm not fucking lying to you. I'll tell you the truth. I'm the most truthful motherfucker you will ever meet.
I just stay in my lane and do my thing. So.
You kind of stay. You kind of verge over there. You hit them a little. You hit them a little sometimes, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. Why are you gonna take that video down? Out of all the videos,
it's
why
not
would you take that
down.
one
But
down?
honestly, I can't even. That was the
It's
title.
unlisted.
Why I fish, right?
It's unlisted. Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
unlisted.
even find it myself.
It's because you've got it unlisted. Go to your studio and make it public again, Dieter.
Hang on, I might be able to do that. Shit, it's not even on here. I got that.
Oh boy.
I've got the Meltonville Bill video on here.
You don't get that present. Yeah, but that's not the why I fit. Nobody cares about your stupid. I know you're proud of that video, but nobody cares about that.
That was actually pretty good.
Nobody cares about that video. Yes, it was good. It was good. It had bokeh. It was a film with a full frame camera with a mic. Yes,
nice.
it was good. It was good.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the failure.
Good.
Here's the failure, and this is what has got to change going into 2024. There needs to be a story. There needs to be a 3-part story to the stuff I'm creating, and that's the thing I've got to do in everything moving forward. Not just that in a sentence. Nobody knows what the hell I said. But just stay tuned. It'll happen.
Go. You need to take some advice from Wes. You just need to go and just do it. Just do it.
I do, but there needs to be a 3-part story to it. So,
And if you want to make money, yes, yeah, I know that you're running your shit.
no, it's
You're
not
running
about
your
money.
shit as a business. So we need some
Go ahead,
daggum
finish.
special effects. So that's where I come in. I'll jump off a fucking building.
Dieter, are you free next week?
Yeah, we need to make something.
No,
fun,
next week's
dude.
horrible. Next week is horribly bad. We are all over the state next week.
Scott Perry said 10 years ago y'all didn't even fish.
I do that battery thing in Atlanta, and then like the 29th, I got to tape a podcast the 30th. And honestly, that first week of September is when things open up. So
I never
But
stood
stay
up
in touch. If you got like a day, the 29th, if something opens up for you, let me know.
Dieter lied on that. Scott still remembers that, Dieter, when you lied and said that I stood you up. I never stood Dieter up. Dieter lied on that one.
What was the deal on that one?
I don't know, but I remember you saying that I stood you up on some fishing trip. I was supposed to go fishing with you on Wiley, and you said that I stood you up, which was a total lie. And I tried to tell Scott Perry that, but Scott Perry doesn't believe me. He thinks that I stood you up.
Joke. I don't think you ever stood me up on Wiley.
Yeah. See, Scott, are you listening to this? See, I never stood Dieter up, just like I said.
I don't think you did. I don't know what was. I'm trying to think what that was. But
exactly, you don't remember it because it was a lie. 10 years ago, y'all didn't even fish. Yeah. Well, if you want to believe that,
the accountant says that was a lie.
I fish because I can, and it's fucking cool to catch it.
Hey,
I mean,
if
listen,
I had bigger fish in the
Dieter,
NC, I promise you I'd catch a bigger fish. But,
Dieter, these guys ain't never caught no big catfish. These boys need to catch them a big catfish.
JR, I ain't never seen you catch a damn big catfish.
Here's the thing. Who cares if it's catfish?
Oh my God, here we go with the who cares about the big catfish speech.
Honestly,
from the guy that doesn't catch big catfish.
If
Everybody,
striper,
short answer, everybody.
JR, I've caught bigger catfish than you. I've probably caught bigger catfish than Dieter.
No, you haven't. The Polaroid from 1997.
It was an 81-pound catfish, JR. It don't matter why the picture was took.
81 pounds is awesome.
Yeah, Polaroids don't matter, JR.
Polaroids of fish nailed to a board don't count.
Hate.
It don't count.
That's a hater. There's another hater. There's a hater. That's right. Hate all you want to, brother. I love it. That means I did something right. Hey, Lordy. Got him.
Anyways, Dieter was talking. What was that?
Hang on. There comes one of my new promo videos. I'm trying to find JR this video is looking for. Dude, 81-pound fish. That's awesome. I'd love to see.
Yeah, it's a 1997 Polaroid.
Somebody on my boat catch one that big.
Wes looks like he's about 19 years fucking old.
JR would love to catch.
Wes looks like he's about 19. Yeah, that's what he's using.
This JR is a catfish pro. I don't think
JR. Have you ever caught
Peter's never caught a catfish over 20 pounds.
JR, have you ever caught an 81-pound catfish? JR, have you ever caught an 81-pound catfish? Don't matter when.
I tell you what, if I did, and it was from the 90s and it was a Polaroid, I wouldn't claim it.
Have you ever caught an 81-pound catfish?
I'll tell you this, Wes.
Never caught an 81-pound catfish.
My biggest flathead was 52 pounds from Santee in 1999. I have a Polaroid of it. I have a picture of it on my Facebook.
Don't hate.
You know what? I don't claim it. You know what I claim is my biggest catfish?
Don't hate.
29 pounds. That's my biggest catfish.
Don't hate.
That's my biggest flathead.
Don't hate.
How much? 29?
Yes, 29-pound flathead. That's my biggest flathead.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's my biggest flathead because I'm not going to use a Polaroid from the 90s. That's why. Anybody that claims a fish from the 90s,
damn son,
that's low. Hey, Lori.
Damn.
Listen, Lori, you would be on my side, Lori.
81-pound catfish. You
81
said
pounds.
Your exact words was, you're talking to guys that's never caught a big catfish. I've caught a goddamn bigger catfish than you.
Oh my God! And then
you're catfish by fucking accident.
Listen, I'm trying not to raise my voice, Wes. but
All right.
Polaroids from the 90s don't count.
Wes got to ask a question. And I see Perry over here whining and complaining about, oh, out of videos, I don't say it sucks, blah, blah, blah. Wes, JR, Pete, 3 sentences. This is going to be tough on y'all right here. Got to be concise. A great fishing video. Summarize it in 3 sentences.
What, the title? What do you want us to summarize? The title, the
Summarize
plot?
for you, what is a great fishing video in 3 sentences?
I got it.
In 3 words or 3 sentences?
3 sentences.
Oh my gosh. He's asking a very vague, very loaded question.
We came, we went, we did.
Hey, tell the story. Tell a little bit of the story before, during, and after.
You actually just laid out the perfect 3-part story.
Who did? Pete?
Believe it or not, Wes did.
What? By saying beginning, middle, and end? What did you say, Wes?
We're waiting on Spielberg.
Before, during, and after.
We're waiting on Spielberg. Hey, let me tell you something, buddy. I didn't make
Who's this guy?
I didn't make a video with a circle hook with a piece of chicken on it. I didn't make a video with a circle hook with a brim on it. I didn't use clickbait. I didn't use trendy. I always just came from my heart. I never tried to run my shit as a business. I have a better fishing video than any of your videos, Dieter.
Awesome.
I think seriously.
But back to my
question. You know I do. My striper video from Tennessee when I went with Hovis
question. We'll get to that. Back to my question. What is is that was your striper film the perfect video? That's
pretty much listen. That is my most successful fishing video. And how many fish did we catch in that video? 1 15-pound striper. 1 15-pound striper. And that video has 50,000 views. I know that doesn't sound like a lot to you, but for me,
that's good. That's probably more than I've ever had on a striper fishing video. Is that the one? Is that the one where you went up in a river? There was a guy on the boat that didn't talk a lot.
That's the one that you loved. That's the one that you said, "Wow, I don't know how you did it, but you somehow pulled off a story." That's what. That was a good video. That was a good video. That was a good video, and that was just my passion coming out on camera.
And I see a video like that, and I go, I want to do it better. I think it's a great video, and I want to do it better. So,
I mean, like you can try, but I don't think you can.
May not be.
I think you can use a better camera. I think you can use better equipment. I think that you can do everything better, but you're not going to be able to replicate it. Like what is that What is the Hooters slogan? What's Hooters slogan?
I wouldn't want to replicate it or duplicate it. Definitely wouldn't want to do that. But I like the
you definitely wouldn't want it because it wasn't good. No, come on, give it its props. It was good.
It was good.
Yes, you would want to replicate it. You would want to duplicate it.
The fact that I remember it says something. So yeah, good job on that, dude.
Hey, let me ask you a question. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know nothing about, the videos and how to get what's.
Yes, you do. I've been making videos with you for years.
To me, when I look at YouTube, I think that no matter what the caption says, what the video is, and this is just me, and I've talked to Scott Perry about this, and Scott said there's a lot of truth to it. We go by pictures, and whatever that caption is, whatever they see the start of that video, that first picture, I think if that catches somebody's eye, they're going to click on it. It's the first picture, whatever the image they see to start of that video is usually what people will click on. And that's Scott Perry told me that. He said that's a fact.
So let me say this. You've given some really profound answers, probably not knowing it here in these questions, because honestly, that is what Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber there is, defines and bases his videos around is what happens in those first 10 seconds in the video. That is. Are we still here? Still here? I lost you for a second. It's what they base the videos around, and that is what hooks people or doesn't hook people. So, you've given a very good answer in that from a very like non-biased, influence kind of angle, and that makes a difference. You still got to have a story. You still got to have content that works, but that first little part, the intros and the flashbangs and the flying across the screen and blah blah blah, you lose a lot of people in that process.
Here's how you're going to make what you want, Dieter. Let's have a little competition. Let's allow me to help you. Allow me to help you make an awesome video. So let's make a lifestyle video on Arkansas blue catfish. Let's make a lifestyle video, and let's see who can make a better video. Let's see who can tell a better story. That's going to force you to up your game. You're not going to want to get your ass kicked by a dude that's only got 2,500 subscribers, are you?
Hey, Dieter, and it's kind of like, say for instance, if you read a caption, and I'm gonna use catfishing for example. You see, you get a caption. I'm just gonna, and I see catfish stuff on there all the time. It's like you should read the caption says giant 60-pound catfish caught, giant 60-pound flathead.
I'm pretty sure I have a video.
Wrong people's talking here, brother. Listen, so when you're holding up, when the image you see on that video, show a picture of the fish, like, damn, look how big this fish is. Hell yeah, I want to see this, so they click on it. Don't mean they don't even have to watch the whole video, but it gets their attention. And once they click, that's considered a view, right?
Clickbait.
Well, you would actually go ahead.
It's about watch time,
and then I'll comment here.
The clicks count, Wes, but it's really more about the watch time. Like once you click, how long do you stay on that video?
Wes, you would actually, and I don't know if you got this from Scott or whatever, but y'all are right. If you've got something in that first few seconds of a video, what you just said is brilliant. It's spot on. If you can show somebody what that entire video is about, barely in that first 10 seconds, and then tell the story leading up to it, a lot of cases you've got a really good video. And
this is elementary stuff. That's called a hook, Wes.
But here's the thing: most people don't do it, myself included. I've got so many videos where I fast forwarded, skip past that, and that's a very important element. Most people don't do it. That little teaser part, very, very big. Scott's got a video with his beautiful wife, the thumbnail on that thing in the water.
Yeah, with the
how many? What's he up to? 29 million views or something on that thing by now, and it's perfect clickbait in the good sense, in that it's like, oh God, what is this? This is like a naked woman in the water swimming. We're gonna click on this. She's got on a bikini or whatever. She's not naked, but it's perfect thumbnail. Yeah. And I think the title was somewhat benign. Who knows?
Fishing in Lake Hartwell. Striper fishing in the summertime or something.
I remember finding the video. I was searching striper videos and I seen that one. Hell, I watched it. I clicked on it. Yeah. And, that's the kind of stuff that, and the biggest thing is that thumbnail, and I'm sure it was auto-generated. He didn't figure that thing out to use or anything. Auto-generated. It delivered on what was in the video. And because she was in there, I think it was for 9.4 seconds swimming in the shot, but she was in there. She was in the video. So it was totally their part of it. And it shows you that kind of little stuff like that will get people to click on and watch the video. So striper fishing kind of sucked, by the way.
Dieter and I could collab, and we would blow like Catfish Dave. Like we would be the biggest catfish.
I'm not going to blow Catfish Dave. I don't care how much you ask.
we would be the biggest catfish content creators like in the industry, period, bar none. There would be no one bigger. If Dieter would allow me to help him, he would be the biggest fucking draw in the industry.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, I have no
Yeah.
doubt.
You know,
But his pride got in his way, and he wouldn't allow me to help him. So
Beat
now
me
I'm
down.
just like, meh. I don't really give
Nah,
a shit
I ain't
about
got
it
time
anymore.
for you.
he wants to keep the Bud Light off of it. So
I just the Bud Light was just to show how easy it was to go viral. I'm millions upon millions upon millions of views. No one else has done that. You haven't done that. Wes hasn't done that. Dieter hasn't done that. No one you guys know. No one you guys have known. Anybody that you know has gotten millions upon millions of views.
JR's 100% right, because that whole thing with I think I know what you're talking about. It has to do with the 4 T's: thumbnail, title, timing, and what's the other one? Whatever the other 4th T is, it's those 4 T's.
Something I've tried to teach.
Topic.
Something I've tried to teach Dieter for years is stop worrying about running your shit as a business and grow organically. And he's made fun of me for talking about growing organically, but it's true. I think that he's starting to realize it. I think that he knows that had he started growing organically 3, 4, 5 years ago, he'd be much further along than he is now.
But everything I've done is organic.
Yeah.
that's the drunk talking to him, you know.
Well,
I was going to say, what's
YouTube.
not organic about what I've done?
You're talking about YouTube and making money, though, and getting views. Y'all say all you want to. A fucking 11-year-old kid, no, a 9-year-old kid led in YouTube views last year. I forgot how many millions of dollars he made. You know what he was doing, Dieter?
Oh, I know.
Video games.
Playing with
toys. Playing with toys. He was reviewing toys.
But those are highly produced videos.
Yeah.
Highly produced videos.
Yeah.
That is not something that happened accidentally. Nobody becomes and I'll say this, and prove me wrong. You can earn your money back, JR. Nobody becomes a millionaire on YouTube by accident. They don't just stumble into it. It is a very planned out, choreographed deal.
Very, very extremely, yes. But I think that Dieter's problem is Dieter cares too much. That's Dieter's problem.
Could be. Yeah, I mean,
Dieter needs to
or I
stop.
don't care enough. It's one of the two.
No, it's you care too much, and you need to stop caring so much. And I think that he'll explode. Dieter will actually absolutely explode if he stops fucking caring.
I think Dieter needs to expand outside of catfish.
There's a smart guy. We got a smart guy in here. We got a smart guy.
Dieter, when I really started following you, that
guy's a smart guy right there.
When I started saltwater fishing last year,
I agree with Peter.
I just Googled shark fishing in Myrtle Beach. Guess who came up first?
Of all places.
Dieter motherfucking Melhorn, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And you had like hundreds of thousands of views on those videos.
You just remember, nobody knew you before I did. You just remember that. I remember. I've been a fan since Wiley Cat, brother.
Well, why did you stand him up? Why did you stand him up?
I never stood Dieter up. Dieter lied. Dieter lied on that. Listen, Dieter's a good guy. He doesn't cuss. He's a good family oriented channel.
Listen, I
blah blah blah, etc. But Dieter fucking he pulled y'all's leg on that one. I never.
I probably did. I don't even remember what happened there. So
you know why? Because it was a lie. That's why you don't remember.
Yeah, probably so.
Supposedly there was a story where we were supposed to meet up and go fishing, and I stood you up. You said that. I don't know if it was in the chain gang. I don't know where it was at, but you said
it might have been in the chain gang. People lie there all the time.
That's fine. There you go.
I'm trying to think of why in the hell I would want to go fishing with you. That's the most confusing part. Well, and that's the part that's really weird.
Hang on a second. Hang on. I'll show you where you went fishing with me, buddy.
Who the hell quit fishing to play?
You were in my old promo video kissing that trout that we caught down at Merle's Inlet. You're not going to find that video either. I think it's unlisted too.
Let's see. Fishing.
Hey, JR. Scott Perry wants you to Scott Perry wants you to come to Buford next week and do some video with him.
Hang on a second. I'm trying to find Dieter and me fishing.
Why does Scott not invite me anywhere? Buford, that's got some That's some good
Hey,
shark
Peter,
fishing down there. We're gonna catch a shark down there, Scott. Is that
Wes,
what we're gonna do?
when he goes
Shark
to
fish?
Beaufort, give me his address. I want to make sure he comes back to a fucking burnt lawn.
What's going on, David Lamb? I hadn't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, Lamb's on here. What's up, Lambo?
Hey, JR was talking about earlier. Digger was talking about earlier about fishing with circle hooks and jerking. I've got a circle hook on here, but watch this video. You can see it. I don't know. You may have already seen it. Yeah, where my finger is. Let's see. Where's the play button at?
Dang, Dieter, I thought I had a video on here of us at the inlet fishing that time.
All right, Dieter, you ready? Let me see what I meant.
You've been drinking water, haven't you? Look at Wes. Boom, there he is. There he is. Woo! Woo!
I will say
Yeah, get
this.
slow motion.
Hey,
still-
the little things
Yeah,
on the butt.
no.
of
I
your
like it the
rod,
way you
what
went
are
in
they
slow
called?
Only
motion.
thing I got is
He got an anchor rope, and I yelled at them to come help me. And they pulled up. They knew who I was. They said,
God, look at that
they
thing.
said, we watch you and Deer Mill.
Good fish.
15
Here you go.
pounds.
No, that's 20.
Look
You might
at
get
that
20.
monster.
Yeah, that one right there, dude. He's going to go at least 30 pounds. Yeah, at least 30. I'm never wrong
That
on
wasn't
the
off
estimates,
on
by
my
the way.
lies, even now. That's funny.
You go at least 30.
You wasn't off. Motherfucker, that fish was
All right.
61
We need
pounds.
fish strips.
I see. I said it
Tell
would
you
at
what I
least go
do.
30.
Weigh him in the net.
I was dead on.
That's going to be the best thing on the fish that size. Put him in the net and
How long ago was that?
picture.
Then?
Hang on. Let's
Okay.
spin back around. Let's go ahead and get the loves. Let's get the sexy shot. Wow. There's some boys getting ready to blast off in a tournament in about 45 minutes that would probably pay you about $400 or $500 for that fish. There's some boys out the Mississippi River monsters that would want that fish today.
All right.
How much
How
did it
long
weigh?
has that been? How long has that been?
I want to say that was probably
4 years?
2017, probably.
Might have been that long, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
How much did it weigh?
61 and some change.
That's a nice fish. What lake was that?
Yeah.
That was
Wiley.
Wiley. Come on, Lex. You gotta go outside, baby.
Wet.
All right, boys. I got a gotcha tomorrow. I got to go to bed.
All right.
Thanks for gracing us tonight, Dieter.
Yeah.
Thanks
We'll
for
see
the
you next
invite.
time,
I
bro.
appreciate it, guys. We'll do it
Yes, sir.
again. Pete, I'll be in touch.
Sounds good,
Absolutely.
buddy.
See you, Dieter.
Oh man, y'all have a good night.
Are you out too? Are you out too, Wes?
Nah, well, I was gonna stay on for till
All right, buddy. You we'll let you go too.
all right, y'all have a good night. Pete, we'll see you, buddy. JR.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
See you
Good
next
night.
week.